Chapter 356. Sixth brother apologized to Jing Yun. The old man instructed, "Grandfather, I told you to apologize. You already know who he is, and yet you're still causing trouble. Don't the Su family know how to verify his identity? The Su family has already verified Jing Yun's identity, so stop causing trouble for the Sheng family." Sixth brother was promptly stunned at the old man's words, a look of disbelief on his face. He's actually the son of a rich family. He's really become a phoenix. Apologized to Jing Yun. Sixth brother was utterly indignant, but still walked up to Jing Yun and said, "I was being rude just now. I hope you won't hold it against me, young Master Su." Jing Yun rose from his chair, picked up the teacup beside him, and poured tea over Sixth brother's head right in front of the Sheng family. "Now, we're even. Jing Yun, don't be so condescending now that you're in power." Sixth brother was furious. "If it wasn't for Minglan, I would have turned you into a dog and barked in front of me instead of just a cup of tea." Mu Qiqi looked at Jing Yun and then at Sheng Xiao beside her. As the saying goes, one is marked by the company one keeps. Jing Yun was really the same as her, having inherited Sheng Xiao's disdain for everyone around him. "All right, it's a good day today. Jing Yun, you're here to propose marriage, so it's best not to strain your relationship with the Sheng family. After all, this is fourth sister's maiden home." However, it was not just Jing Yun. Even Sheng Minglan herself had never considered the Sheng family as a maternal family she could rely on. To put it bluntly, Jing Yun was simply informing the old man that he was marrying Sheng Minglan. If the Su family was happy, they would simply invite the old man over for a drink. If they were unhappy, they would simply settle the matter, leaving the Sheng family with no drama to play. After being humiliated, sixth brother turned to glare at Sheng Xiao resentfully. After all, he was convinced that Sheng Xiao must have given him the wrong information to lure him back, so that he could avenge Jing Yun right in front of him. After all, he had always called out to Jing Yun as a dog. The Su family's reunion banquet is in a few days. I'm planning to announce my relationship with Minglan there too. That's for the best. If the people of Jianchuan didn't know about Jing Yun's identity, he couldn't afford to lose face and spread rumors that his granddaughter was having an affair with a servant. When the time comes, I hope that all of you will come. That night, the old man learned how different Jing Yun was after becoming a member of the Su family. That was why he liked power so much. It was because only those with power had the right to speak. Just look at Jing Yun now. Wasn't he just a matter of opening his mouth if he wanted something? There was no need to be as desperate as before. Soon, Jing Yun left with his bodyguards, and that was when sixth brother pointed at Sheng Xiao. "It's you. You deliberately spread the news to me and lured me here. You're the one who doesn't have a brain. Why are you blaming me?" Sheng Xiao smiled in return. "There's a saying that goes, every dog has its day. You used to look down on Jing Yun and his background, but from now on, you'll suffer as long as he tries to get back at you. You probably never thought that this day would come when you called him a dog. There was hatred in sixth brother's eyes. What he hated most was being treated like a puppet by Sheng Xiao and manipulated as he pleased. "Let's go home, Chi." Holding Mu Qiqi's hand, Sheng Xiao followed Jing Yun out of the Sheng residence. At this time, the old man looked at the backs of the two people as they left. He had a meaningful look on his face. The Gu family had agreed to it, and Miss Gu had given her consent. After Sheng Minglan's matter was settled, it would be Sheng Xiao's turn anyway. He was still thinking that he could bring Miss Gu to the Sheng family on his birthday, and when that time comes, Mu Qiqi would have to give way to Miss Gu. But Mu Qiqi wasn't the kind of person who would give way. She still wanted to hold the title of Sheng Xiao's woman for life. "Don't bother with Sheng Xiao and that Mu Qiqi now. You won't be around for long," old Sheng told sixth brother. Sixth brother wasn't smart, but he caught the meaning in the old man's words. "Grandfather, you're saying, don't be so flustered. It's only a matter of time." Sixth brother cleared the tea leaves off his head, and only then did he feel better. "Sheng Xiao, Mu Qiqi, let's see how long you can keep being arrogant." Soon, Jing Yun returned to the Su residence, where Sheng Minglan and Mama Su were waiting for him in the living room. "Did everything go well? Reasonably speaking, your father and I should show up but I don't want to give that old man so much face. Don't worry. Everything went well. Jingyan replied. Go upstairs with Minglan and get some rest. Mama Su urged them. Still, you have to be careful. Even if it's nothing new to get married with a child, you have to consider your father's face and restrain yourself before the wedding. Sheng Minglan blushed at those words. Jingyan held Sheng Minglan's hand and led her to their bedroom. You don't have to go back as long as you don't have to interact with the Sheng family. Sheng Minglan reached out and hugged Jingyan, nodding in his arms. You're holding back from me, aren't you? I'm not like young master in the first place. I can't do such a flashy vengeance, and as long as the Sheng family doesn't make things difficult for me, I won't target them since I owe them a debt. We'll start all over from now on. They hugged each other resolutely, but Jingyan kept Mama Su's words in mind. He wanted to give Sheng Minglan a wedding like no other, and she wouldn't look good in a wedding dress if she was pregnant. I'll marry you soon. Mu Chi never imagined that there would be a day when Jingyan would treat someone like that, pouring tea over Six Brothers' head. Even now, when he recalled that scene, he would still feel extremely satisfied. Did I tell you to stay in bed after your bath so you could laugh? Sheng Xiao returned to the bedroom with a towel wrapped around his waist, promptly pinching Mu Chi-Chi's nose when he saw her smile. Mu Chi-Chi pulled off his towel and squeezed herself into his arms. I was laughing at Grandpa's compromising look. Sheng Xiao wrapped his arms around her, only to find that his little one wasn't wearing pajamas either. Hence, he lifted her chin and asked, "What are you doing?" Mu Chi-Chi's eyes sparkled with extreme infatuation as she looked at Sheng Xiao. What do you think? I want you to tell me. Chapter 357. Old Sheng was wary of the Su family's background, which was why he agreed to Jingyan and Sheng Minglan's marriage. Still, he did not specifically bother Sheng Xiao or Mu Chi-Chi, which left Sheng Xiao puzzled. With the old man's volatile temper, the first person he would deal with after Sheng Minglan's matter would be Sheng Xiao's Qi. Even so, the old man had not made a move until now, which was rather unusual. Sheng Xiao had Mama Sheng pay special attention to the old man's movements. But aside from the few times he left the house without letting his family know, there was really nothing out of the ordinary. His birthday was in March, and Sheng Xiao would definitely be on his guard. Of course, no one knew that the great crown prince of Huangyao was already preparing to shift his focus to do something great with his father-in-law. Be that as long as the old man did not go overboard, he would not tell anyone about it. But if the old man really did something else to Mu Chi-Chi, there was nothing he could do. Meanwhile, the Su couple had asked Su Yihong to arrange an appropriate position for Jingyan and Su Holdings. Su Yihong agreed to help his younger brother as well, and let Jingyan know what aspect Su Holdings was involved in as soon as possible. That was a breakthrough point for Su Yihong against Jingyan. Since your identity is still unknown, I can't put you in a position that's too obvious. I could only have you work at the grassroots level and get a general idea of Su Holdings. You've thought it through, brother, Jingyan said to Su Yihong discreetly. At the end of the day, Su Yihong was just using this method to provoke Jingyan. The young master of the Su family was actually being assigned to the most basic of positions. It would be a humiliation for anyone, and he wanted Jingyan to complain to the Su couple. That way, he could easily incite conflict between Jingyan and his parents. But he was wrong. First, Jingyan knew that he was the mastermind behind his abandonment, which was why he knew that the old man would deliberately set a trap for him. Second, Jingyan was not an impetuous person. Moreover, he believed that he should be in contact with the lowest levels of Su Holdings. Everything should be learned from the basics, which was why he did not find it humiliating. After all, the people of Jianchuan recognized his ability and knew that he was not a good-for-nothing. Therefore, Su Yihong's move was, in truth, nothing more than shooting himself in the foot in the end. Even so, he had to hurry up and investigate the connection between Su Yihong and the eldest uncle of the Su family. At this time, Lin Mu had just returned to school and was about to face the holidays again. However, he did not want to go back to the Lin family. That was why he called Lu Qianqian on the first night of the holidays. I'm on vacation, little pepper. You have no sympathy at all. You know I ran away from home, and yet you leave me to fend for myself. What else? Lu Qianqian changed her clothes while talking to Lin Muin on the phone. I don't believe that you really have nowhere to go. I used to have a lot of friends, but they are all fair-weather friends. I'm afraid they won't agree to stay with me now, Lin Muin replied. Who told you to lose power? Lu Qianqian wanted to bite him through the phone. You have a month's holiday, right? And are you really not going back to the Lin family for the new year? I don't want to. Lin Mu and answered Lu Qianqian very firmly. If I go back to the Lin family, Grandpa will come up with all kinds of traps and tricks to stop me from going back to the police academy. I don't want to take the risk anymore. If that's the case, I'll reluctantly accept you. Lu Qianqian pretended to sigh. You could be my bodyguard for this month. I'm lacking a sparring partner and a punching bag anyway. Then where should I stay? Your little boudoir? The storeroom suits you quite well. What do you think? Lu Qianqian drove Lin Mu into the police academy gates, and they left together. Meanwhile, Grandpa Lin's hands trembled uncontrollably as he watched his grandson being taken away by Lu Qianqian. Those two are still in contact after all. Since that animal wants to suffer, I'll fulfill his wish. Lin Muin kept feeling a cold breeze blowing at him from behind, and wondered if he was being overly suspicious. To tell the truth, I just need a simple place to stay. It's about the same as the police academy. I'll gladly endure it. TSK, a young master of the Lin family, is actually freeloading off a woman like me. Didn't I say that I'll be your bodyguard? Lin Muin's training these days had yielded great results. When I graduate from the police academy, you'll be the biggest contributor. Lu Qianqian smiled mockingly at Lin Muin. Then I'll have to trouble you, young Master Lin. In fact, Lu Qianqian had prepared a small apartment for Lin Muin. It was a very simple apartment. The two walked around the small apartment and then sat in the living room to drink, just like the last time at the hotel. As expected, you're my best friend. Lu Qianqian looked at Lin Muin. He had become sturdier, and his figure had become better. He looked much more manly now. Then how are you going to introduce me to a girlfriend you like in the future? Lu Qianqian asked Lin Muin, holding a bottle of wine. Lin Muin put his arm around Lu Qianqian's neck and said, half drunk, I'll break up with anyone who doesn't accept you as my best friend. Lu Qianqian's heart skipped a beat at that. Not many women would accept their boyfriend to have a female confidant. So what? I like it. Lin Muin's alcohol tolerance was actually very good, but he was outclassed by Lu Qianqian, who had cultivated herself. So, when Lin Muin collapsed on the floor, Lu Qianqian was still very sober. Watching Lin Muin's sleeping face, Lu Qianqian leaned over the table and whispered, Me too. If anyone dares to say anything about your existence, I'll tell them to get lost. With that, she picked up a blanket from the bed and put it over Lin Muin. Good night, future Officer Lin. Little Pepper. Lin Muin smiled in his sleep. I'll protect you for the rest of my life. I'll protect my best friend. Idiot. Lu Qianqian scolded him with a smile and returned home late at night. Because she didn't want to be caught and humiliated by old Master Lin once more when she got home, Mama Lu smelled alcohol on her and advised her, Qianqian, don't give up on yourself because of what happened in the past. What are you thinking, Mom? I'm drinking with Lin Muin. Lu Qianqian quickly explained. He's left the Lin family and doesn't even have a place to stay. I can't just stand by as he and I are friends, and I've taken him in as my bodyguard. Really just friends? Mama Lu confirmed with Lu Qianqian. Chapter 358. Old Sheng wanted Mu Qiqi to give up her position to Miss Gu, but he had to mend his relationship with Mu Qiqi and eighth brother before that, or he wouldn't have the chance to get close to Mu Qiqi at all. After all, he knew very well that the harder he treated eighth brother, the more Sheng Xiao would retaliate. Of course, he couldn't be friendly to them for no reason. Given how smart eighth brother was, wouldn't that be telling him that he had something to gain from it? He had to set it up meticulously to avoid Sheng Xiao's suspicion. Mending their relationship could be done at the same time as contacting Miss Gu. Meanwhile, Sheng Xiao had transferred second brother back from abroad to groom the person in charge of Huang Yao. His excuse was that Jing Yun had returned to the Su family, and he needed someone capable to share the burden. Second brother had always been convinced of Sheng Zhao's ability and had been diligent and never slacking off over the years. Since Sheng Zhao had summoned him this time, he naturally had to find someone abroad to handle the handover. And in Sheng Zhao's mind, second brother had more than enough talent, but he wasn't ruthless enough. Still, that wasn't a problem. At the very least, he was 100 times better than a good-for-nothing like sixth brother. Old Sheng didn't notice anything amiss with Sheng Zhao's excuse. He was naturally happy that another grandson was coming home, but he would never know that Sheng Zhao was smarter than he imagined, and more meticulous as well. Wouldn't the few times he went out without telling the Sheng family that he was meeting people attract suspicion? The old man simply believed that he was in control of the situation. In the evening, Mu Qiqi had dinner with Sheng Zhao, and the two of them sat in the study, each busy with their own matters. Watching Mu Qiqi's back as she wrote her report, Sheng Zhao suddenly smiled and reached out to pull her into his arms. I'm going to the airport tomorrow to meet second brother of the Sheng family. Mu Qiqi could tell from Sheng Zhao's expression that second brother wasn't a bad person since he was going to the airport. Jingyun's gone. Did you ask him to come back and help you? Sheng Zhao hummed softly in acknowledgement. He had not revealed anything to Mu Qiqi until now. Mu Qiqi studied Sheng Zhao carefully and smiled slyly. Are you hiding something from me? When Sheng Zhao heard that, he suddenly became playful. How did you know that? Who can tell what you're thinking? Mu Qiqi snorted. I just have this intuition. If you can't see anything, go take a shower. Sheng Zhao patted her head. I'll take you to see your aunt tomorrow. All right. Sheng Zhao's smile deepened as he watched Mu Qiqi get up. He wanted to protect the little one's ever-happy smile the most. He did not want her to change her quirky personality just because she had to face the Sheng family. She had promised Shen Jianchuan that she would make Mu Qiqi happy in the Sheng family. But now, he was afraid that this wish could not be realized. The strength he used on the old man could totally be used to rebuild an empire. Since that was the case, why fight that tough battle again? After Mu Qiqi went upstairs, Sheng Zhao put down the documents in his hand and called his father-in-law. I've read the resumes of these people. That Suche meets my requirements. You're quite picky. Suche was a retired Special Forces soldier. Shen Jianchuan smiled. Still, being your assistant doesn't require extraordinary abilities. All right, I'll arrange for you to meet him later. But aren't you going to tell Mu Qiqi? She would know when the time is right. Since it is a military enterprise, it is not like Huang Yao, which needs to understand management and diamonds. He chose Suche because Suche knows a lot of weapons, which ordinary assistants can't catch up to. Moreover, if there is an emergency, Suche can protect himself and cheer. Good boy. Good. He'll report to you in 2 days. As a matter of fact, the person Sheng Zhao should be communicating with the most was his mother. However, he knew that Mama Sheng would definitely be suspicious of his arrangements, which was why he did not have to tell her. The next day, the couple went to the airport to pick up Sheng Zhao. When Mu Qiqi saw second brother, she immediately understood why Sheng Zhao would think of him as an elder brother. Since they were cousins, they certainly shared some similarities. On the other hand, this brother of his had clear eyes and was frank with others, which suited Sheng Zhao's taste at first glance. You must be the youngest sister-in-law, Mu Qiqi? Second brother extended a hand to Mu Qiqi. Your name really rings like thunder. Mu Qiqi shook his hand and smiled. You're flattering me. I'm really sorry that I didn't even come when you got engaged. Still, so many things have happened at home while I was abroad. It feels like a lifetime has passed, especially Jing Yun's matter. You're probably not used to it without him, are you? What do you think? Sheng Zhao lifted a brow at second brother. Then I'll come back and take over Jing Yun's job as your assistant. No, I have other arrangements for my assistant. You're more suited for another position, Sheng Zhao said mysteriously. Second brother appeared puzzled. Although he had always been impressed by eighth brother's intelligence, he was afraid that he could not have the rapport with Sheng Zhao like Jing Yun did with someone smart. Both brothers were dressed in black tailored suits and had tall and slender figures. Still, Sheng Zhao exuded a dangerous aura from inside out. The old man was very happy as well, and prepared a sumptuous dinner to welcome his grandson back home. That night, the old man ignored Mu-Chi-Chi's existence and focused on enjoying family time with his grandson. Of course, the fact that he did not bother Mu-Chi-Chi was already the greatest gift to her. But Mu-Chi-Chi did not know that it was the beginning of the old man's change in attitude towards her. After dinner, Mama Sheng winked at Sheng Xiao, and the two of them went to the Sheng family's golf course. Eighth brother, you called your second brother back and want to recommend him to be the vice president. Do you have other plans? No one knows a son better than a mother. Sheng Xiao smiled at Mama Sheng. Mom, did you know that the old man had been meeting some mysterious people behind the Sheng family's back recently? What does he mean? You'll have to ask him about that. Sheng Xiao answered meaningfully. I have to leave a path of retreat for you, and cheer. Don't say anything in the Sheng family. Chi doesn't know about it either. You're keeping it from Xiao, Chi. Chapter 359. Then what do you need me to do? Sheng Xiao turned to look at his mother. You don't have to do anything. Just be like before. But Mom, you have to make a choice. Stay with the Sheng family or leave. Mama Sheng took a deep breath and nodded. I'll think about it. Mu-Chi-Chi could not help frowning when she saw them return from the golf course. Are you whispering to Mom? What? Are you jealous? Sheng Xiao asked in return. Is there anything I can't know? Although Mu-Chi-Chi knew that Sheng Xiao had many secrets in his heart, it was the first time he avoided her like that. The little one is getting harder to manage. She's getting more scheming too. I'll tell you in the future, but I have to keep it a secret for now. Sheng Xiao said, hugging her and bidding farewell to the rest of the Sheng family before leaving with Mu-Chi-Chi. Since Sheng Xiao had explained it, Mu-Chi-Chi did not have to mind. All she wanted was an attitude from him. On the other hand, the old man finally had a good impression of Sheng Xiao because he was willing to help his brother. That was because he never imagined that Sheng Xiao would have the idea of independence and believed that the crown prince would take over Huang Yao no matter what. But he simply did not know that Huang Yao held no weight in Sheng Xiao's heart. 2 days later, the young man named Su Che reported to Jing Ting. Mu-Chi-Chi asked Sheng Xiao in confusion when she saw how young and strong he was. Don't I have a bodyguard? This is my new assistant. Sheng Xiao told Mu-Chi-Chi. Su Che, Chief Sheng, young madam. Su Che bowed to them like a soldier. How old is this kid? You've been hired as an assistant. Mu-Chi-Chi could not be blamed for being puzzled. Su Che was born with a baby face and was very popular in the army because of his fair and tender face. Su Che, tell your young madam how old you are. Sheng Xiao could not help sneering. I'm 23. Su Che quickly answered. Damn, I thought you were only 18. Without realizing it, Mu-Chi-Chi gave Su Che a thumbs up. You guys talk. I'm going upstairs to freshen up. Even then, Mu-Chi-Chi did not find it strange. After all, Jingyan often came to Jingting, but she did not know that the difference between Su Che and Jingyan was that Su Che would never appear in Huang Yao, because Su Che was on Sheng Xiao and Shun Jinchuan's side. Moreover, he would only help Sheng Xiao with matters on that side. Su Che, although you're my assistant, Xiao Qi, comes first in everything. As long as it involves her, you have to put her first. Secondly, you don't have to answer Xiao Qi questions now. I will tell her in the future. I understand, Chief Sheng. Sheng Xiao trusted a soldier's strict style. After all, he had learned about Su Che's performance in the army. Since that's the case, you should be more careful in the future. In public, try to pretend that you don't know me. This was naturally a piece of cake for a soldier. Sheng Xiao was very satisfied with Su Che. After all, he was someone his father-in-law had selected. Of course, he was better than those good-for-nothings outside. Meanwhile, at the Su residence, Su Yihong had assigned Jing Yun to the Su family's purchasing department. According to him, he wanted Jing Yun to quickly familiarize himself with what the Su family did for a living and how they got their stuff. He wouldn't let Jing Yun go to the sales department or the Su family's R&D department, leaving Jing Yun hanging in suspense. Moreover, the people in the purchasing department were not aware of Jing Yun's identity and were very curious about this employee who had been dropped in out of nowhere. Seeing that Su Yi-hong had arranged for Jing Yun, Mr. and Mrs. Su asked him while Jing Yun was not home, "What are you thinking?" "Mom, I want third brother to try out every department. That way, you would be able to see if he's capable, and it would be the fastest way for him to familiarize himself with Su Holdings." There are many ways to familiarize himself with Su Holdings, and we have enough specialists. Moreover, he had been with the Crown Prince of Huangyao for so long. Why are you still doubting his ability? "Mom, trust me. I can take care of my brother." Mama Su was about to say something else, but Papa Su stopped her. "Yi-hong is right. Let Feng try." The truth was that he did not want Su Yi-hong to think that he had neglected his eldest son's feelings after finding Jing Yun. And since Su Yi-hong had chosen to do so, he was naturally confident that his parents would agree. As for whether Jing Yun would feel wronged, it was none of his business. Jing Yun knew what Su Yi-hong was thinking. Moreover, Su Yi-hong had clearly instructed the people in the purchasing department to give him a hard time. Was he trying to test his patience? Did he not know how easy it was for the purchasing department to make mistakes? Sheng Minglan, on the other hand, was working at her own company as usual. Still, Jing Yun did not tell her about it, or she would never let it go. Still, what kind of people had he not seen after working for Sheng Xiao for so many years? That was why he installed an invisible camera on his computer on the second day he joined the purchasing department. Naturally, he wanted to know who was human and who was a ghost. Still, the purchasing department was unaware that Su Yi-hong had personally given the order to suppress Jing Yun. They simply listened to the orders from above, and Jing Yun would naturally not blame Su Yi-hong when the time came. Hence, someone came to test the clarity of the camera just after it was installed. Seizing the opportunity when Jing Yun was not around, he splashed a cup of water on the purchasing list his supervisor had just given him. It was a manuscript, and Jing Yun was supposed to check it against the list on the computer, but now the manuscript was soaked in water. Jing Yun laughed coldly when he saw it from his phone in the pantry before returning to his post. At the moment, his colleagues looked as if they did not know what was going on. Even so, Jing Yun was not used to their habit, and promptly put the soaked manuscript in front of the culprit. "I believe you have a responsibility. Help me restore the information on the manuscript." The man's face dropped in shock. "I don't know what you're talking about." Everyone else looked as if they were watching a good show. "You don't have to know what I'm talking about, but I remember the look on your face when you knocked over my cup." Jing Yun replied calmly. The man was stunned and blushed in embarrassment. Don't slander me. I never slander anyone, but I'm not one to hold back. Restore my information, or I won't be the only one to admire your face." The man promptly lowered his head at that, avoiding the question. "Got it." Everyone looked at Jing Yun's face. Was he a pushover? Such a straightforward counterattack. Chapter 360. As a matter of fact, Jing Yun had a habit of making backups, since he would always take photos of things like manuscripts. After working for Sheng Xiao for so long, would he be interested in such petty tricks? It was no different from scratching an itch and not stirring any desire to win. Still, he did not tell that person that he had the information, because he wanted that person to know the consequences of provoking him. Everyone in the office fell silent at that. That was clearly a tough nut to crack, and yet someone was so reckless as to run into it. Still, there was more to come. Once Jing Yun's identity was revealed, everyone in the office would probably scram out of fear of retribution. Jing Yun was still Jing Yun. No matter how smart Su Yi-hong was, he would have to admit defeat against someone trained by Sheng Xiao. Naturally, Jing Yun had his men investigate the matter between Su Yi-hong and the eldest uncle of the Su family. He believed that his ability was not in the purchasing department anyway. That very night, Jing Yun received a call. That was why he brought Sheng Minglan to Jingting. "Why are you coming to me now that you're the third young master of the Su family?" Sheng Xiao frowned in displeasure. Knowing that he was not really disgusted, Sheng Minglan retorted, "Am I not your fourth sister, even if Jing Yun isn't your assistant? What's new? I've sent people to investigate around the eldest uncle of the Su family and found out about an old incident." Jing Yun told Sheng Xiao. He still saw Sheng Xiao as his young master, and the way they spoke was the same as before. Speak. Xing Xiao hugged Muchichi and leaned lazily on the sofa. Big Uncle once had two lovers outside. One of them was discovered by Big Aunt, and she cried and made a scene. After that, she died. As for the other one, Big Uncle hid it very well. It is said that the two of them even gave birth to a son. What's the connection? The connection is that the child was born in the same hospital as eldest brothers, and the child was born before eldest brother by a few days. No one in the Su family knows about it. What about the child? Xing Xiao had already figured out the crux of the matter. He died when he was 2, and eldest uncle gave the woman a sum of money. They were even after that, and the woman left the country. How could you find out about such a thing? Xing Xiao pointed at Jingyan. It sounded like he was mocking him, but his actual words were well done. It took some effort, Jingyan admitted. What else is there to say? Go and do a DNA test with your brother and your parents. In fact, Jingyan had already guessed that Su Yihong had a motive for what happened all those years ago. But even so, we didn't find any evidence that he abandoned me. Let's set up a trap. Xing Xiao narrowed his eyes and instructed Jingyan just like before. Your brother isn't letting you have it easy, is he? It's all right. Jingyan did not admit it in front of Sheng Minglan. Of course, Xing Xiao did not continue. Since things are settled, shouldn't you leave? The little thing, and I still need to rest. Mu Chi blushed. Xiao, what are you talking about? Sheng Minglan covered her mouth and chuckled. I didn't know you were so impatient. Well, we're going back. Jingyan held Sheng Minglan's hand as they left Jingting. He was even more certain of his hunch after hearing Xing Xiao's answer. His father and his eldest uncle had fought over the management rights, and the eldest uncle had every reason to switch the child. Even if his father won and gave the rights to Su Yihong, the outcome would be the same. It would still be given to the eldest uncle. Moreover, no one knew that the mistress had a child at the time, and his real brother had died. That was the best cover for Su Yihong. I didn't expect the Su family to have so many traps. Sheng Minglan sighed on the way back. Still, it's Su Yihong's bad luck to run into you and 8th brother. Anyone else would have fallen into Su Yihong's trap over and over again. Young master's intellect is peerless. Brains are useful, but not everyone can control them. Who else aside from Mu Chi could stand 8th brother? Every carrot has its own pit, and every pot lid has its head. A tortoise goes with Sheng Minglan did not really say the word tortoise, but she chuckled. Since we're going to do a DNA test, leave it to me. I'm not restricted at home since you're all at work. Jingyan shook his head. No. Why? His room would definitely be guarded. Jingyan said, how could someone like Su Yihong not know that there were surveillance cameras in his office if even he knew about it? I've always wondered why he didn't marry before, but I understand now. He would have a higher chance of being exposed if he had married early, and there would be no way to deal with his wife and children. That's why he might as well not marry and find a stable partner, and only marry and have children when he has real power. That would be perfect. What do you plan to do then? There would be times when he would be careless if they lived together. That would depend on observation. All right then. Sheng Minglan gave up on the idea of going to Su Yihong's room. After all, Su Yihong would definitely be prepared when Mama Su went to get the fake's DNA. Meanwhile, over at Jingting, Mu Chi was still nestled in Sheng Zhao's arms after Jing Yun, and Sheng Minglan left, sighing. I'm relieved that Jing Yun is no different from before. What do you think he would become? Snobbish, greedy. Mu Chi pointed with her fingers as an example. You have many friends, but not many of them are brothers. I don't want you to lose a brother. You're thinking too much. Xing Xiao couldn't help chuckling. Jing Yun would never change. He would never change. But that makes things even more interesting, don't you think? Xing Xiao promptly picked Mu Chi up from the sofa at that. Was it the only thing that had become interesting? It had taken him quite a bit of effort to find out who the old man had met during his mysterious trips. The Gu family. After meeting the Gu family, what happened next? Was he already looking for a replacement for Qi? No wonder the old man had not given Qi a hard time recently. It turned out that he had other plans. Of course, if the old man really dared to do that, he could not be blamed. After all, this was the world of the young. How could the old man's old ways work? When Jing Yun gets the evidence and exposes Su Yi-hong, I want to join the fun. Chapter 361. Then, the Gu family came to ask when old Sheng would settle things between Sheng Xiao and Mu Chi-chi and make room for the young lady of the Gu family. After all, she was the young lady of an aristocratic family. It was impossible for her to meddle in someone else's relationship when Sheng Xiao still had a fiancé. How could she explain that to Sheng Xiao? Old Sheng had been racking his brains lately, since Sheng Xiao was so smart that nothing could be hidden from him. And it was in that moment that sixth brother, who had been searching for his sister for a long time, actually found her. But now, Sheng Minghui no longer looked like the daughter of the Sheng family. Sixth brother was heartbroken when he saw her, and stormed back to Sheng Mansion, telling Grandpa Sheng, "Grandpa, I've found seventh sister. But do you know where I found her?" Old Sheng's hands froze at the thought of seventh sister, and he looked up at him. "Hurry up and tell me." "Grandpa." Old Sheng's eyes welled with tears, and he promptly knelt before the old man. Seventh sister shouldn't be chased out of the family, no matter how wrong she was. I found her in a nightclub. She's seriously ill and is now in the hospital. She's humiliated and defiled like this, and it's crushing my heart. The old man's eyes widened at that. "What's wrong with her? It's better if you don't know." Sixth brother couldn't help crying. Either way, there's no way she could marry a man with a clean conscience. The old man did a double take and rose to his feet. "Take me to her." "There's no need, Grandpa. She doesn't even know you now." Sixth brother knelt in front of Grandpa Sheng and grabbed his pants. "Grandpa, I really can't take it lying down after seeing seventh sister like that. Mu Chi-chi hurt seventh sister like that. Does she still want to marry into the Sheng family? Grandpa, please deal with Mu Chi-chi. Do you think I have the final say in this matter?" "It's eighth brother." Old Sheng snorted. "If eighth brother wants to protect Mu Chi-chi, who in the family could touch her?" "Grandpa, has Mu Chi-chi not brought enough trouble to the Sheng family? Do you really have the heart to let her become the mistress of the Sheng family? Then us brothers will have a hard time. Grandfather, I really suggest that we break off the engagement with the Sheng family. If you don't believe me, have everyone in the Sheng family visit seventh sister and see if the Sheng family can tolerate her." At sixth brother's words, the old man suddenly had a new plan. Using Sheng Minghui's matter as a pretext, he might be able to sever their fiancé nominally. Moreover, the Shen family had no room to refute. As long as the two of them broke off the engagement, things would be much easier. "Tomorrow, ask your parents to visit Old Seven." Old Master Sheng sighed. Finally, after being troubled for so many days, he found a breakthrough. "Try to make the matter as big as possible." "Understand." Sixth brother wiped away his tears and rose to his feet. Whether eighth brother really likes Mu Chi-chi or not, the Sheng family has no place for her. If eighth brother can't bear it, he should get out of the Sheng family. "No, I just want Mu Chi-chi to get out." Given how important eighth brother was to Huang Yao, he did not want to suffer a double loss. That was why he had to find an excuse to have Miss Gu join the Sheng family. That way, there would be a chance for Sheng Xiao and Miss Gu to develop a relationship. That was why the old man was prepared to make things difficult for Mu Chi-chi. Late at night, at the Su family's home, as the reunion banquet was drawing near, the Su couple were checking the guest list in the living room, while Su Yi-hong was beside them to see if there were any guests they had missed. Soon, Jing Yun led Sheng Minglan into the main entrance of the Su family's home. Seeing that everyone else was present, he sat down with Sheng Minglan across from her father and brother. "Feng, you're back. How's work?" "Everything's fine, mother," Jing Yun said. After all, after he had punished the troublemaker colleague, the other pretentious scoundrels were much more discreet. At the very least, they would not dare to trouble him openly. "You don't know, mother, but the head of the purchasing department told me that third brother is astonishingly capable." Su Yi-hong smiled at Mama Su even as he sipped his coffee. "That's good." Mama Su was pleased and kept her head down to check the guest list. Even so, Jing Yun's gaze fell upon Su Yi-hong's coffee cup. "I think I'm going to transfer third brother to another department soon." "Third brother? third sister-in-law, Dad, Mom. I'm going to rest. With that, Su Yihong took his coffee cup to the kitchen, but he did not wash it. He went straight upstairs after he left the kitchen. Jing Yun shot Sheng Minglan a look and said, Minglan, could you give me a cup of water? Wait for me. Sheng Minglan understood Jing Yun's meaning and went into the kitchen to hide the coffee cup Su Yihong used just now, replacing it with a similar one. Then, she took some hot water and left the kitchen for Jing Yun. Stay with Mom and Dad for a while. I'm going up. All right. Sheng Minglan did not touch the cup because she had covered it with plastic wrap and carefully took it out when she returned to her room. Soon, Jing Yun followed her upstairs as well. His eyes darkened when he saw the cup. But I haven't gotten your father's yet. Otherwise, I could have given it out later. What do I need my father's for? Mine will do. Jing Yun told Sheng Minglan. But I need an excuse to leave. That's easy. Just say that eighth brother called for us. Jing Yun nodded and washed up as usual. But soon, he brought Sheng Minglan downstairs. Where are you going? Auntie, eighth brother wants us to go to Jing Ting. We'll be right back. Sheng Minglan quickly explained to Mama Su. Mama Su nodded. Don't be late. Upstairs, Su Yihong watched as the two left, but did not suspect that the coffee cup he used just now had been swapped. He was aware that Jing Yun was a schemer, but did not know that Jing Yun was trained by Sheng Xiao, and he was not just smart on the surface. The two promptly sent the sample to the identification center, and the outcome would be clear once they verified that Jing Yun and Su Yihong were biological brothers. The reunion is in a few days, and the results would be out. What do you plan to do then? Sheng Minglan asked Jing Yun, although she was actually worried about him. As long as he doesn't bother me during the reunion, I won't embarrass my parents. We'll talk about it in private. Jing Yun replied, looking at Sheng Minglan. Moreover, I have to set up a trap to get evidence that he abandoned me. Chapter 362. When the Sheng family heard that sixth brother had found seventh sister and that she was in the hospital, they all took some time off to visit her. At first, Grandpa Sheng had arranged for the Sheng family to put on a show and stand up against Muchichi. But when they saw what happened to seventh sister, they were filled with rage. The young lady of the Sheng family was now tormented to the point that she was neither human nor ghost. She was violated in a nightclub by a man and was now seriously ill. There was no need for an act. Third uncle and third aunt of the Sheng family were directly kneeling before Grandpa Sheng, begging him to stand up for their daughter. Usually, the couple did not have the right to care about their child. But this time, with sixth brother's hint, Grandpa Sheng would definitely stand up for Sheng Minghui. The woman on the sickbed was thin and weak. Moreover, she was not in her right mind. No one could imagine how much she had been through. And with that thought, everyone's hatred for Muchichi deepened. Father, seventh sister has become like this. You have to stand up for us. Grandpa Sheng clasped his hands behind his back, his heart pained as well. This concerns the friendship between the Sheng and Shun families. I need to arrange it carefully. When seventh sister feels better, I'll talk to old Shun. Once this matter was told to the Shun family, it would be impossible to retrieve the spilt water, and there would be no turning back. Father, don't be fooled by Sheng Xiao this time. He certainly would not miss such a good opportunity. However, he only blamed it on Muchichi. He did not remember who chased Sheng Minghui out of the house. Was it Muchichi? Since it had happened, all he had to do was deny it. No matter what happened, it would always be someone else's fault. That was how Grandpa Sheng always did things. Mama Sheng naturally told Sheng Xiao about Sheng Minghui being found. Although Mama Sheng did not expect that Grandpa Sheng would use this matter to get rid of Muchichi. But Sheng Xiao was different. Judging from Grandpa Sheng's recent actions, he knew that Sheng Minghui being found would be the best excuse for Grandpa Sheng to lay his cards on the table with the Shun family. After all, Sheng Minghui was seriously injured. Mother, there's going to be a lot of drama at home. What do you mean? Grandfather has taken a liking to the young lady of the Gu family to replace Chi-er. Now that seventh brother has been exposed, do you think he will miss such a good opportunity and not take advantage of it? Mama Sheng was shocked after listening to Sheng Zhao's analysis. No wonder. After visiting seventh sister today, your third uncle and third aunt talked excitedly with Old Master for the whole afternoon. Do you have a plan? Let the old man do what he wants. Sheng Xiao said. If you want to look for old Shun, let him. If you want to make things clear, let him. Anyway, he doesn't care about what I think. Why should I guard against him? But you're just going to let the old man dissolve your relationship with Xiao Qi. Whether you admit it or not, in my heart, Chi is already my wife. Sheng Xiao said seriously. It's just that the price he has to pay for doing this is a little too high. You want to, if he doesn't do anything to Chi, I won't give up on Huang Yao. But he must have crossed the line. So I can only... I'm sorry. Sheng Xiao had already made up his mind. Mother, what's your decision? Your father and I have been together for so many years. Although he is not a man most of the time and can't protect this family, I don't want to give up on him just like that. If you really announce that you are leaving Huang Yao, I will go abroad to look for him, Mama, Sheng said. Sheng Xiao held the phone and said softly, I'm sorry, Mother. Don't say that. I know your temper. Even if Chi-Chi is not here, you will fight back when you are forced to this extent. Moreover, you have prepared a way out for me. It's just that I have other options. No matter what, just do the ideological work for the Shun family. You can let go of the Sheng family. Thank you, Mother. Xiao Qi is still in the dark. You have to make it clear to her. Don't let her misunderstand. Sheng Xiao was very clear about that. Now that the matter was pressing, he naturally had to be prepared in advance. After the call, Sheng Xiao hung up and told Mu Chi-Chi, who was writing the autopsy report at home, pack up. We're going to the Shun family. What time? What happened? Mu Chi-Chi put down her laptop and stood up, looking at Sheng Xiao, who was changing his clothes. You will know when the time comes. It was late at night, and it was winter. When Huang Yu saw that they had arrived at the Shun family's house, she put a blanket over them. It's so late. It's freezing. Your father and grandfather are already waiting in the study. Go. Thank you, second aunt. Mu Chi-Chi tightened her grip on the blanket and followed behind Sheng Xiao. She seemed to have sensed something unusual in the atmosphere. Since they had called before, Shun Jianchuan and Grandpa Shun were waiting in the study. When they saw them, they asked, What's the matter? Why is it so urgent that we have to meet tonight? Mu Chi-Chi really wanted to know as well, but from the look in their eyes, it seemed that she had kept many things from them. Sheng Minghui was found, but she didn't end up well. The Sheng family blamed it on Qi, which is why Grandpa Shun wants to use it as a pretext. Sheng Xiao explained to them, That's your family's business. Why are you coming to me? Grandpa Shun snorted. How could he be happy that Sheng Xiao could not settle the Sheng family after so long? If there are no accidents, Grandpa Shun will send you a visiting card tomorrow. Then, he will use Sheng Minghui's matter to call off my engagement with Qi. Well, Grandpa Shun was furious. Does he think the Shun family is so easy to bully? Grandpa, don't be angry. If Grandpa Shun wants to have a showdown with you tomorrow, you just have to fall out with him. If that's the case, your marriage with Xiao Qi is over. Grandpa Sheng said, pointing at Mu Chi-Chi. Sheng Xiao and Shun Jianchuan looked at each other and smiled. Meanwhile, Shun Jianchuan spoke up. Father, since when is your grandson-in-law someone who suffers losses? If the Sheng family refuses to accept Mu Chi-Chi, you should be magnanimous and accept him as your grandson-in-law. Grandpa Shun was shocked when he heard that. He looked at Sheng Xiao in disbelief. You are willing to marry into our family. I'm with Qi, anyway. Is there a difference if I marry her or she marries me? Sheng Xiao smiled. That's not all. Shun Jianchuan continued. You know that I've established Zhongting Military Industries, right? But you probably don't know who my partner is. Chapter 363. Are you really planning to leave Huang Yao? Could it be that you don't like me as your grandson-in-law? Grandfather? Sheng Xiao was smiling, looking supremely confident. I'm just afraid that the one in your family would come knocking on our door and make it impossible for me to live in peace. Although you've retired, the Shen family's reputation is still there. Moreover, second uncle's foundation is stabilizing, and the Sheng family wouldn't do anything to embarrass the Shun family openly. Sheng Xiao said very confidently. Humph, the old man was still fuming. No wonder you would bring Xiao-Qi here in the middle of the night. If I didn't like you, brat, I wouldn't even bother with you. I'm doing this to show my attitude in advance, and I hope that you can cooperate with me and finish the show, grandfather. But you have to think this through. When your grandfather sees me tomorrow, he would officially call off your engagement. Sheng Xiao turned to look at Mu Chi-Chi, his gaze doting and firm. She's never been a fiancée in my heart. Mu Chi-Chi did a double take, and heard him continue. She's my one and only wife. Brat, after they finished their discussion in the study, the two of them prepared to stay at the Shun residence for the night. After the two of them left Grandpa Shun's study room, Grandpa Shun said helplessly to Shun Jianquan, "After all, we have been friends for decades. I really don't understand why I, Xiao-Qi, am not good enough for his eighth brother. Father, Sheng Xiao is sincere toward Qi, which means he's not willing to let you control her. Secondly, you're retired, and Qi is a girl. It's impossible to create a comfortable space and conditions for Sheng Xiao to develop in Huangyao. Moreover, Mu Chi-Chi wants to be a forensic doctor so much. Do you think old Sheng would let Mu Chi-Chi occupy the position of Sheng Xiao's woman? He could definitely find someone who could help Huangyao. He has a good plan. He can't blame me for abducting his grandson. That brat is capable and bold. You just have to fulfill their wish." Shen Jianquan looked at his father and could only smile. Anyway, old Sheng could break off the engagement. It did not matter. When the time came, Sheng Xiao could directly announce his withdrawal from Huangyao. Let's see who would lose more. Let's talk about it tomorrow. The old man had been on the battlefield all his life. What had he not seen? Now, his granddaughter's engagement was broken off? Even if eighth brother did not vent his anger, he would not be able to swallow it. The Shun family was easy to bully. Moreover, they had been friends for so many years, and yet old Sheng was still playing tricks on him. Thinking about it, all these years had really been a waste. Shen Jianquan kept smiling. Anyway, he was just watching the show. In Mu Chi-Chi's room in the Shun family, Mu Chi-Chi was straddling Sheng Xiao and tugging at his clothes. "You are hiding a lot of things from me." Sheng Xiao was not annoyed. He just lay on the bed. It was quite comfortable anyway. "Didn't I tell you now? If things hadn't come to this, you wouldn't have told me." Mu Chi-Chi snorted. "What did you start a new company with, Dad?" "Just recently," Sheng Xiao replied. "Are you planning to leave the Sheng family for good?" "Yes." Sheng Xiao nodded and hooked his arm around Mu Chi-Chi's neck. "Why? Am I not to your taste just because I am not the crown prince of Huangyao? You're going to marry into the Shun family. What else is there to say?" Mu Chi-Chi shook his arm off and got off him. "You're not allowed to touch me tonight." Sheng Xiao hugged Mu Chi-Chi in his arms and whispered in her ear, "There is no condom in the first place." "I am angry. Be serious." Mu Chi-Chi snorted. "You're not telling me anything. I'm so sad." "Little one, you are asking for a mile after being given an inch. Who am I doing this for?" That was true. From the moment she saw old Sheng interfering with fourth sister's affairs, she knew that she would break off her engagement with Sheng Xiao sooner or later. She had also thought about how she should solve the matter. She really did not think that Sheng Xiao would leave the Sheng family completely and start his own family, even intending to marry into the Shun family. There was no telling how big a wave this matter would cause. "Little one, there might be news about us breaking off our engagement tomorrow. Let it be." Mu Chi-Chi replied nonchalantly. "Then I would be the one who dumped you. You are asking for a beating." Sheng Xiao held Mu Chi-Chi down and slapped her butt. Mu Chi-Chi did not resist. After all, this man was never willing to use his strength and only treated it as a massage. Tomorrow, it was fine if old Sheng used Sheng Minghui's matter against the Shun family and Mu Chi-Chi and asked to break off the engagement. After all, he would use the excuse that old Sheng had decided his life without his consent to get rid of the burden that was Huangyao. Was he afraid? Never. In fact, he preferred the environment and the unity of the Shun family. Many people would not be able to sleep tonight, would they? Old Sheng was worried if there would be any changes in this matter, and if eighth brother would know about it in advance. On the other hand, Mama Sheng was worried that something terrible would happen after Sheng Xiao made things clear. But the two involved did not seem to be affected at all and were sleeping soundly. The next morning, sixth brother went to old Shung's study. Grandpa, I thought about it all night last night. I think I should go to old Shin personally. That way, I can show my attitude and determination. Take old Master Shun to the hospital directly. Then, let him see your sister's most miserable side. Also, let your parents make a scene in front of him. Only then will you have a good reason to call off the engagement with the Shun family. I understand, sixth brother said. Then what about Shung Xiao? Don't mind him. When the news spreads, he will come home and settle the score with me. But what is done cannot be undone. He can't do anything about it. Old Shung did not want Shung Xiao to agree in the first place. He knew that Shung Xiao would never agree. What if Shung Xiao reacts violently? He would be in a hurry to explain to Mu Chi. Old Shung waved his hand. When the two of them are together, it will not be justifiable, and there will be more misunderstandings. Sooner or later, they will separate. Don't worry about it. All right, let's do it. Sixth brother simply threw caution to the wind. In for a penny, in for a pound. After all, he could not wait to cut Mu Chi into pieces every time he saw Seven Sisters' face. Now, not letting her into the Shung family was already the lightest punishment he could get. But how could the Shung family know that Shung Xiao had already planned to retreat? You don't know gratitude after stabilizing Huang Yao, do you? Plotting against me. Chapter 364. Sixth brother promptly drove to the Shun's residence after receiving his orders. Meanwhile, Shung Xiao had already left the Shun's residence with Mu Chi. Sixth brother would have a direct confrontation if he saw them. Although old Shun was prepared, he was still very upset when the Shung family really came. Was old Shung actually thinking of returning the granddaughter of the Shun family? It was good that he had brought Shung Xiao here. Old Shung would also see how Shung Xiao would use the Shun family's current resources to rise to the top. How dare he belittle the Shin family and look down on them? Their decades of friendship really could not withstand the test. Still, old Shin would not feel guilty for abducting the crown prince of the Shung family. After all, who was Shung Xiao? His legs were growing on his body. So who could stop him? Sixth brother was completely unaware that it was a trap. He entered the Shin family through Huang Yu and met old Shun at the fish pond without a hitch. Even before he spoke to old Shun, he thought to himself that the old man's power was truly gone. Now, he could only stay at home and play with his birds, and his days were so boring. It was precisely because of this thought that they missed a very important thing, which was the mayoral election. Old Shun turned and smirked when he saw sixth brother. Still, he put down his fishing rod and walked up to sixth brother. What's with the wind today? Even the sixth brother of the Shung family is here. Old Shun, I'm here to invite you to a place. Sixth brother's face showed proper respect. Did your grandfather ask you to invite me? Yes. Sixth brother nodded. Old Shun washed his hands by the sink and walked ahead of sixth brother. Wait for me at the front hall. I want change. Soon, they left together. Still, when he saw that it was not the way to the Shung family's house, the old man couldn't help asking, Where are we going? Don't worry, old Shun. You'll know when we get there. Sixth brother kept him in suspense. Soon, they arrived at the hospital. Although Grandpa Shun was still puzzled, he got an answer when he entered Shung Minghui's ward. Isn't this Shung Minghui? Exactly. Old Sixth nodded. Seventh sister is seriously ill now. She's not in her right mind. Please forgive her for not recognizing old Shun. This, and the person who did this to seventh sister is your good granddaughter, Mu Chi. Old Shin's face fell at that. He was about to say something when third uncle and third aunt of the Shung family pushed open the door and entered, grabbing old Shun's arm. Old Shun, my daughter wouldn't have ended up like this if it wasn't for Mu Chi. She's the one who harmed her. Old Shun, you must give us an explanation. Old Shun, I only have one daughter in my family. However, she was tricked by a man by Mu Chi. Now, she is seriously ill and delirious. She can only spend the rest of her life in the hospital. Old Shun, please help us. With snot and tears running down their faces, the couple fought to accuse Mu Chi to the old man. No, You should at least tell us what happened, shouldn't you? Back then, seventh sister and your granddaughter, Shenroi, were bewitched and wanted to harm Minglan. It was Mu Chi-Chi's idea that made old Shun hate seventh sister and chase her out of the family. I know seventh sister is at fault, but what could a young lady like her go after she was chased out of the family? Our elder regretted it the very next day, but it was already too late. We couldn't find OL7 anywhere in the world until 2 days ago, when her brother found her in a nightclub. Third uncle of the Shung family covered his face and sobbed. If Mu Chi-Chi didn't come up with such an idea, things might not have turned out this way. Old Shun knew what happened this time, but it was Old Shung who gave the order. What did it have to do with Mu Chi-Chi? Moreover, seventh sister and Shenroi only had themselves to blame. What was there to sympathize with? He did not even mention that Shenroi was exiled to the Cold Army to suffer. Old Shun. Both of them held on to Old Shun and cried bitterly. Soon, Old Shun pushed open the door and entered. The two old men looked at each other, and Old Shun sighed helplessly. Old Shun, let's talk outside. Finally, they were getting down to business. These three were really bad at acting. It was not that he did not sympathize with seventh sister, but he would not simply admit that it had nothing to do with Mu Chi-Chi. The two old men were walking in the garden of the hospital. Grandpa Shun was not as agile as Grandpa Shun, so he stopped and said to Grandpa Shun, seventh sister's matter has caused quite a stir in the Shun family. The family has a lot of opinions about Mu Chi-Chi, and third brother's family is even threatening to kill themselves. Grandpa Shun, I'm really troubled. Grandpa Shun looked at his old friend in front of him and suddenly felt that he was a stranger. Since when did Old Shun start beating around the bush so much? Old Shun, just say it if you have something to say. Perhaps our eighth brother and Mu Chi-Chi are not fated. As a grandfather, I can't absolve myself from the blame when our family is in such a mess. That is why I've come to you shamelessly today. What I want to say is that we should forget about the marriage between our families. Mu Chi-Chi is smart and obedient. She would definitely find a better home. But there's no telling when seventh sister would leave. She's so sick that she can't face Mu Chi-Chi even if I look after her. Grandpa Shun fell silent after hearing this. After a while, he asked, feeling rather humiliated, who is more responsible for the matter between seventh sister and Shenroi? You're the one who chased your granddaughter out of the family. Now that something has happened, you're blaming my granddaughter? It's my fault. I shouldn't have listened to Mu Chi-Chi. Was that an apology? Old Master Shun had finally seen it for himself. I know that you've never acknowledged Mu Chi-Chi from the start. You only agreed to the engagement because she's still young, and you could turn the tables on her at any time. Old Shun, what are you talking about? Old Shun began to quibble. Our families have been friends for decades. Why do you think that the Shun family no longer has power, Old Shun? Second brother has been elected mayor of Jianchuan just a few days ago. You don't know about that, do you? Old Shun appeared rather shocked, because the matter had not been made public yet. Still, since you've said it and made it clear, the Shun family wouldn't ask for trouble. Our granddaughter hasn't reached the point where she would throw herself at someone else. Since you've already decided that it's Mu Chi-Chi's fault, let it be. It's our granddaughter who has wronged you. I'll call off the marriage for Mu Chi-Chi. Chapter 365. Businessmen are so short-sighted. There's a saying since ancient times that the common people should not fight against the rich, and the rich should not fight against the officials. So, when it comes to the Shun family, are you saying that the Shun family is paying for it? I won't do such a thing. Since you've spoken, Old Shun, the marriage between Shun Xiao and Mu Chi-Chi is over. The Shun family will tell the world that we're breaking off our engagement with the Shun family, and I'll send someone to Seventh Sister's house to express our sincerity. Old Shun, since you have the intention of shedding all pretense of cordiality with me today, then I shall accept this favor. Old Master Shun raised his eyebrows. He did not hold back when he spoke to Old Master Shun. Let's forget about our past relationships today. Old Shun panicked inwardly when he saw Old Shun's decisiveness. After all, He really didn't know that Mu Chi-Chi's second uncle was now the mayor of Jianchuan, and that his attention was on the Gu family. Unexpectedly, the Shun family was still the same as before. Moreover, with Shun Lin joining the army and Shun Jianchuan slowly recovering, the Shun family would still enjoy limitless glory in time. Old Shun, you're being too serious. We still hope that Mu Chi-Chi could visit the Shun family. No need. Yusheng family might be shameless, but we are. With that, Old Shen flicked his sleeves and left. That left Old Sheng rather annoyed. It was clearly his idea to build connections with the Gu family, and he had always been disdainful of Mu Chi-Chi's birth. But how could he have known that Mu Chi-Chi's background would one day rise with the tide? But there was no turning back now that the arrow had been fired. Since this matter had become a foregone conclusion, the friendship with the Shun family could only end here. The only good thing was that he could openly let Miss Gu join the Shun family. But little did he know that his loss had just begun. Still, the truth was that Old Shun didn't feel the joy of being rid of a burden. Instead, there was an emptiness in the depths of his heart. After all, he was now an enemy of the Shun family. Even so, he couldn't come up with any countermeasure if the Shun family tried to suppress the Shun family in secret. Otherwise, did he really think that no one could shake Jianchuan for so many years just because he was a big conglomerate? How could those who wanted to make an example out of the Shun family not be wary of the Shun family behind the Shun family? After a while, Old Shun returned to the ward. Sixth brother quickly went up to him and asked, "Grandpa, is it done? It's a success, but don't worry about buts. Mu Chi-Chi will never appear in the Shun family again. Isn't that a good thing? Where are you going to announce the news? The Shin family will handle this. You don't have to worry." Old Shun told sixth brother. Although Sheng Xiao had told Old Shin about it, Old Shin was still furious when he heard how Old Shun despised Xiao Qi. If it weren't for that brat's foresight and ability to judge the situation, he really wouldn't want to get married to the Shun family. How young was Xiao Qi? Sheng Xiao was almost 30, and now that he thought about it, he was at a disadvantage. Of course, Sheng Xiao knew very well how strong Grandpa Shin's character was. He would not be in a good mood after this incident. That was why he planned to stay with Mu Chi-Chi at the Shun family's house for the next 2 days. Moreover, he would return home at once and accompany Old Shun to fish at the fish pond after he was done with his business in Huangyao. I'm making a call to have someone handle your marriage with Xiao Qi. I'll handle it myself, Sheng Xiao quickly said. You don't have to worry about it, Grandpa. The Shun family will get it back soon anyway. Who's your grandpa? Now that second uncle has become the mayor, those who underestimated the Shun family would once again see the Shun family's ability. Only fools would offend you now, wouldn't they? Cunning, Grandpa Shin commented. I'm happy for you, Grandpa. Although the Shun family's power is rising again, but the number of people is still too small. Second uncle and second aunt are old, so they still need to rely on us, the younger generation, to spread the branches and leaves, right? Let she go out and look for someone else. How could I treat her better than a ready-made grandson-in-law like me? You think too highly of yourself. Why aren't you handling the matter between you and Chi? Old Shin was too lazy to be bothered. Of course, he had seen many things clearly now that the Shun family was rising again. That was why keeping a low profile before was the right thing to do. Sheng Xiao smiled and called a reporter he was familiar with. I've got some news for you. Do you want it? What's the big news? The Crown Prince of Huang Yao has broken off his engagement with Mu Chi-Chi, the granddaughter of the Shun family. It's because the elders of the Shun family don't like Mu Chi-Chi's status. Is the news reliable? If you don't report it, the Shun family would beat you to it, Sheng Xiao said playfully. The reporter promptly asked to hang up at that. I'm going to write my draft. After all, the feud between rich families was always good material for gossip. Of course, with Sheng Xiao letting the news out like that, it was all the Shun family's fault. Looking down on Mu Chi-Chi's background, in any case, she was the legitimate daughter of the Shun family, the mayor's niece. How could the Shun family look down on that? Were they going to marry the empress? Therefore, before the Shun family could inform the rest of Huangyao, the news had already spread. Lu Qianqian, Su Zipei, and Jingyan all called Muqiqi. Muqiqi was still busy with the autopsy and could only reply them one by one. The news is real, but my relationship with Xiao Xiao isn't affected. There's more exciting things to come, so you don't have to worry. The Sheng family is abandoning the little bride just like that. To tell the truth, Muqiqi is only 19, while the crown prince is 27. Isn't it obvious who's the winner? The crown prince likes Muqiqi so much, but the elders still control his marriage. The Sheng family really doesn't know what's good for them. Let me tell you a secret. The Sheng family has just won the election and is flourishing, but the Sheng family is actually looking down on them. Whatever the case, the two have broken off their engagement in name. There are plenty of young geniuses and young ladies. They have a chance now. What a pity. I really want to see how the people react. How will the people react? What kind of reaction? The news that they revealed themselves. The Sheng family would be cursed by the world this time. Of course, none of that worried old Sheng. He was more worried that Sheng Xiao would go berserk. Just worried? No way. Now, that Sheng Xiao had calmed the Shun family down. Wasn't it obvious what he was going to do next? Did the old man think that he would go to the Sheng family and cause a scene? He was too lazy to do that. Tonight, I'll let the old master worry for a night. Tomorrow. Chapter 366. In the evening, Muqiqi returned to the Shun's residence. She could not help rolling her eyes when she saw Sheng Xiao. My phone is exploding from all the calls. You did it. Sheng Xiao pulled her into his arms and whispered into her ear, "Isn't it good to stand up for the Sheng family? How would I know there would be such a huge reaction? You don't know how many sympathetic gazes I get wherever I go." Sheng Xiao could not help chuckling at that. My Chi is fine. Why would she need sympathy? Humph. Others don't know. All right. You stink. Go take a shower and have dinner. I brought the perfume for you. Muqiqi nodded and went to the bathroom to wash up. Still, the stench of corpses on her spread from the main entrance to every corner of the Shun's residence. Even old Shin could not help asking what that smell was. Sheng Xiao only explained then. She's just observing corpses. Old Shin nodded and looked at Sheng Xiao. That's too smelly. It's like this every day. I'm used to it. Really? Why must she be a forensic doctor? The old man did not dislike the profession, but the fact that it was a job that women could not bear. She's an assistant in the criminal investigation team now. She's not just observing. Sheng Xiao smiled in agreement. That was something the old man was quite satisfied with. The kid had really accepted everything about Xiao Qi, be it good or bad. Even if it was the stench of corpses, he would enjoy it every day. When do you plan to announce your departure from Huangyao? Tomorrow. He did not do it tonight to keep the Sheng family uneasy. And old Sheng would definitely know that he was at the Shun's residence tonight, thinking that he was trying to make Muqiqi happy. Let's eat. The old man did not say anything else. He did not need to show up anyway. Meanwhile, in the dining room of the Sheng's residence, the Sheng family was puzzled that Sheng Xiao did not come back to trouble the old man. Although old Sheng guessed that Sheng Xiao would definitely try to coax Muqiqi and explain it was not his style to not show up until now. Let's not wait. Let's eat. Everyone started to move their bowls and chopsticks. At that moment, Mama Sheng said to Grandpa Sheng, "Dad, I booked a plane ticket to leave Jianchuan tomorrow. Are you going to find boss? It's all thanks to you that I feel that staying in the Sheng family is like hell. You made 8th brother and Muqiqi break off their engagement and worked with 6th brother's family to put on a show and force old Shin to agree. You didn't tell me about it at all. I think you don't need me as your daughter-in-law. So I want to leave." Eldest aunt, 6th brother called out apprehensively. "Until now, I only have one thing to say. Sheng Minghui deserved what she got. And the one who caused all this was not Muqiqi, but the old man in front of you." After that, Mama Sheng got up from the dining table. "Take your time. I won't be accompanying you." Old Sheng did not stop Mama Sheng because he believed that Mama Sheng could not make a decision on Sheng Zhao's matter. Moreover, Misku would be joining the Sheng family soon. With that being the case, It was better to fulfill her wish so that she would not mess things up. Grandpa, eighth brother isn't back at this hour. Could he have done something unthinkable? It turned out that sixth brother was still afraid. Can he ascend to the heavens or dive into the earth? He would know to look for me when he comes back. Just do whatever you need to do. Old Sheng wiped his hands with a napkin and quietly ate his dinner. Soon, Mama Sheng left the Sheng family's house with her luggage. She had no attachment to the Sheng family at all. She would rather sleep in a hotel tonight than stay with those ingrates. Second brother could not stand it anymore, and only went up to her to carry her luggage. I'll see you off, eldest aunt. Since second brother was Sheng Zhao's chosen successor, she did not reject him. Huang Yao depends on you from now on. Second brother smiled, not understanding Mama Sheng's words. There's still eighth brother. Still, he had given his heart and soul for the Sheng family, but was treated like this. He must be feeling terrible. Terrible. Mama Sheng snorted. There was no telling who would be the one feeling terrible tomorrow. Mama Sheng gave Sheng Xiao a call when they reached the hotel, and Sheng Xiao brought Mu Chi-Chi to the hotel and personally sent her to the airport the next morning. Be careful when I'm not by your side from now on. Mom, you have to visit us often, Mu Chi-Chi said, hugging Mama Sheng. Take care of Mu Chi-Chi, eighth brother. Don't let her suffer. The Sheng family is so heartless. Sheng Xiao smiled and pointed at the security checkpoint. It's almost time. Go. It's not like we won't meet again. Remember not to bully Mu Chi-Chi. I'll remember. Mu Chi-Chi was really touched. Although she had never experienced motherly love from Su Ziqing, Mama Sheng treated her like her own daughter and would spare no effort for her, a Sheng Xiao. Soon, Mama Sheng's figure disappeared through the security checkpoint. That was when Mu Chi-Chi sighed. I have one less family. Sheng Xiao put his arm around Mu Chi-Chi's shoulder and led her out of the airport. It's Mom's choice. I know. I just feel bad. All right, I'll send you to the forensics lab. I still have things to do. Sheng Xiao quickly changed the subject with his little one, or she would keep thinking about him. Are you going to fight the Sheng family? Fight? Not really. I'm just spreading some news. With that, Sheng Xiao started his sports car and sent Mu Chi-Chi to the forensics lab. Meanwhile, the Sheng family was even more anxious. Logically speaking, they would only feel normal after Sheng Xiao caused a ruckus. Otherwise, it would be the calm before the storm as long as Sheng Xiao did not show up. Hoping for Sheng Xiao to show up. What a shame. Sheng Xiao would never show up. Soon, old Sheng received a call from the director of Huang Yao. What's going on? Sheng Xiao hasn't come to work yet. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Meanwhile, Sheng Xiao's resignation letter was handed to second brother, who was stunned when he read it. Meanwhile, the secretary was asking second brother about the meeting that Sheng Xiao was supposed to be hosting. Should we keep waiting for the crown prince? Second brother had a complicated look on his face and only said one thing. No need. He won't show up again. At the same time, a reporter from a financial magazine received the news. Sheng Xiao, the crown prince of Huang Yao, has publicly announced that he is resigning as the CEO of Huang Yao and leaving the company forever. From now on, he would never meddle in Huang Yao's affairs. This is the second time the crown prince has resigned from Huang Yao this year. Chapter 367. Even so, the old man was dismissive when he heard the news. Eighth brother was playing that trick again. He had threatened him with ignoring Huang Yao the last time. Was he going to play the same trick again? Unfortunately, the old man would not fall for it. That was why old Sheng was not concerned at all when news of Sheng Zhao's departure from Huang Yao spread like wildfire. That was until second brother returned home with Sheng Zhao's resignation letter and share transfer letter. As the deputy CEO of Huang Yao, do you need me to teach you how to hold your ground in the company when eighth brother is being willful? Sixth brother even sneered. Second brother, you haven't seen eighth brother's tricks, but I've seen it once. He's doing this just to make grandpa compromise. In a few days, he'll come back when he's achieved his goal. Second brother, however, was not as optimistic as they were. He directly handed over Sheng Zhao's resignation letter and the transfer of his shares. The old man took a look at it and immediately took 2 steps back. This was all handed over by eighth brother? Eighth brother wouldn't show his face at all and only had his assistant deliver these things. Grandfather, no matter how willful he was in the past, it's clear that he's not joking this time. The old man's expression changed completely. Sixth brother snatched it for a look and was shocked. Eighth brother is serious? Grandfather, did you not think that eighth brother would really be angry after you caused such a ruckus and broke off the engagement with the Shun family on your own? Who in the family doesn't know how scary his anger is? Have you ever thought that eighth brother would really abandon Huang Yao? The old man really did not think that way, because Huang Yao had given Shang Xiao unparalleled glory and status. That was why he did not believe that Shang Xiao would give up on the family's power and wealth. No, he did not believe that eighth brother would give it all up, even now. Where is eighth brother now? Old Shing asked. We broke off our engagement with the Shun family yesterday, and eighth brother had someone deliver these things today. With Xiao Qin's departure yesterday, it's easy to imagine that the bastard had planned for this day to come. Eighth brother is probably at the Shun family's residence now. Second brother answered. I'll go look for him now. Right now, the Shun family is not a place that just anyone can enter. Second brother reminded old Shang. Grandfather, you should know that second uncle of the Shun family has been elected mayor of Jianchuan, right? The old man took a deep breath and tried to suppress the anger in his heart. Then find eighth brother for me, since he doesn't even want to go to Huang Yao now. He naturally doesn't want to see you. The more important thing now is to stabilize Huang Yao. Grandfather, I'm afraid you'll have to do it yourself this time. Didn't eighth brother just get rid of Mu Chi-Chi? Is there a need for such a big reaction? Second brother glared at sixth brother at that. You really should be grateful to eighth brother for having such a good life now. When he's gone, you'll know how your life would change dramatically. That's right, sixth brother. You should be grateful to eighth brother. Sixth brother was unconcerned. After all, would Huang Yao crumble just because Shang Xiao was gone after so many years of standing? Naturally, second brother could not be bothered to waste words with him, and promptly followed the old man, heading to Huang Yao to appease the shareholders. At first, old Sheng had wanted to hide the fact that Shang Xiao had handed in his resignation letter and transferred his shares. However, Shang Xiao had already revealed the details to the reporters, which was why the old man could not hide the fact that Shang Xiao was leaving Huang Yao at all. Huang Yao was in a state of turmoil all at once, just as rumors spread everywhere. At the end of the day, it was all because the old man had taken the liberty to call off the engagement with the Shun family, which was why Shang Xiao had such a drastic reaction. No, it might have seemed urgent and fierce to outsiders, but he had been planning it for some time. Otherwise, he would not have been able to provide whatever the old man needed. It looks like the crown prince is really going to leave the Shang family. He can't even protect his own woman. Perhaps Shang Xiao thinks that being the crown prince is useless and simply doesn't want it anymore. I don't have to say it, but is the head of the Shang family blind? It's already very unwise to call off the engagement with the Shun family at this juncture. Why would he underestimate the crown prince's influence on Huang Yao? The outside world was very clear about the matter. Sheng Zhao's actions were clearly provoking the old man. Huang Yao's board of directors called for an emergency meeting, but old Sheng could only keep the shareholders at bay for now, even promising to bring Sheng Xiao back. After that, he wanted to meet Sheng Xiao, but found that the security was much tighter when he arrived at the Shun family's residence. Remembering how he had humiliated old Shen yesterday, old Sheng did not want to show up now. Even so, he had to meet Shang Xiao. In the past, old Sheng did not have to go through strict checks when he entered the Shun family, but he was stopped by the guards now. When the guard saw that it was him in the car, he promptly told the old man, "I'm sorry, old Mr. Sheng. Mayor Shun has decreed that he will not meet any Shun family member who comes to the Shun's residence. I hope you can understand our hardships and turn back." "Me too. You're first in line. It's fine if you don't want to meet me. Hand over my grandson." "I'm sorry, old Mr. Sheng." Young master is free to come and go in the Shun's residence, and no one is giving him a hard time. His legs are his, and there's nothing we can do if he doesn't want to come out. Old Sheng angrily closed the car window and was forced to return home. He really did not expect Sheng Xiao to be so decisive. Find out where Mu Chi is right now. I want to meet her. And Sheng Xiao wouldn't lock her up, would he? Mu Chi was at the forensics lab, but Su Che was with her at the moment. Old Sheng arrived at the entrance of the forensics lab, and when Mu Chi finally came out, he ordered his men to capture her. But Su Che knocked out one of his front teeth with a single punch. Su Che blocked Mu Chi-Chi's way, and before Mu Chi-Chi could see who was in the car, he had Mu Chi-Chi get in and drive off right in front of Old Sheng. That was how useful Su Che was. Trained in the special forces, it was not a problem for him to fight 5 people alone. Hence, the old man had no choice but to return to the Sheng family's residence. That was when everyone in the Sheng family came to ask if the old man had seen Sheng Xiao. Second brother watched the old man's expression closely and quickly knew the answer. Perhaps. Chapter 368. Second brother, you should take over Huang Yao since 8th brother has made you deputy chief. Grandpa, let me try. Who knows? 8th brother might want to see me. Second brother suggested. I might not be able to bring 8th brother back, but I would know what he wants and if there's still room for redemption. It's the same even if you go. It's the Su family's banquet tomorrow, and 8th brother would definitely be there. We'll talk about it then. The old man said tiredly. Second brother was very worried. He followed behind the old man. Grandpa, I'm only doing this to find a better wife for him. What's wrong with that? Second brother couldn't comment on the old man's actions, but he fully understood why Sheng Xiao would retaliate like that. Huang Yao was in a mess right now, and the gossip magazines were not letting the Sheng family off the hook either, and kept digging for the latest news. Old Shen finally vented his frustrations at the sight of the Sheng family. Despising the granddaughter of the Shun family? During dinner, Old Shen sneaked a few glances at Sheng Xiao before saying, Your grandfather came to look for you. I expected that, and I know you didn't let him in, Grandpa. How so? Aren't the guards in the Shun family a lot stricter? Sheng Xiao answered Grandpa Shen naturally. Have you vented your anger? Grandpa Shen asked. Umph. Old Shen snorted. Chi, and I are returning to Jingting tonight. We'll be there for Jing Yun's banquet tomorrow, and the old man would know and look for me at the Su family's banquet. Don't forget your promise. What else can I do now that I've handed everything I own to you? Sheng Xiao smiled. I'm not going back since I've decided to leave Huang Yao. Still, now's not the time to announce our new company. When the time is right, I'll let the Sheng family know that I can't go back. Aren't you afraid that your grandfather would be heartbroken? He has a better choice. Sheng Xiao said simply. Of course, he knew very well that old Sheng would not let him go so easily, but this time, he would never step through the gates of the Sheng family no matter what. Now that Grandpa Shun had vented his anger, he felt much better. Do as you youngsters please. With that, Sheng Xiao left the Shun's residence with Mu Chi-Chi. Old Sheng would never have expected that Sheng Xiao would return to Jingting. Mama Sheng had arranged this house for him and paid for it in full. That was why Sheng Xiao could continue living here. Today, I was almost kidnapped by your grandfather at the entrance of the Criminal Investigation Unit. Sheng Xiao carried Mu Chi-Chi and led her upstairs to the bedroom. That's why I let Su Che follow you. Where did Su Che come from? From what I can see, his opponent's teeth are all gone. A veteran of the Special Forces. Sheng Xiao looked at her little face and answered. Mu Chi-Chi nodded. No wonder. This man had really arranged everything. Sheng Xiao brought Mu Chi-Chi back to the bedroom and placed her in the bathtub. He filled the bathtub with hot water for her before they lay down together. Mu Chi-Chi saw him closing his eyes lazily, so she took the initiative to kiss him. How do you plan to deal with the reunion party tomorrow? Your grandfather will definitely go. I'll deal with it as it comes. Sheng Xiao replied with a half-smile. Instead of worrying about what will happen to me tomorrow, you should worry about what will happen to you right now. Sheng Xiao pinched Mu Chi-Chi's chin, and a ferocious kiss followed. Mu Chi-Chi did not even have time to react before she was pinned beneath him. I haven't tried it in the water yet. Do you want it? Mu Chi-Chi gasped. She had no control at all. Even now, he was asking her if she wanted it. The man was deliberately messing with her. Would you stop if I say I don't want it? Sheng Xiao smiled seductively in that very instant and whispered into Mu Chi-Chi's ear, I'll answer you. I'll just rub and not go in. Sheng Xiao was having a good time here, but the Sheng family was in a mess right now. Soon, the shareholders would not be able to hold their ground, much less the partners of Huang Yao. Second brother's ability was certainly incomparable to sixth brother's, but his foundation was not yet stable, and he could not win the trust of the shareholders and partners. How could I have such an animal? Huang Yao is such a huge business, and he just threw it away like that. What else does he want? The CEO of Huang Yao has more shares than anyone else, and yet he's not satisfied? Grandfather, you know very well what he wants. Second brother told the old man. That's impossible. It was not easy for him to get rid of Mu Chi-Chi, and he would not slap himself in the face and get Mu Chi-Chi back. Second brother, you have to work hard for a while to stabilize Huang Yao. You don't have to worry about what eighth brother did before, and just go for it. I'll do my best, grandfather. Even so, there was only one Sheng Xiao in this world, and only those who had seen him with their own eyes would know how miraculous he was. Even if second brother was outstanding, he was merely a manager who was slightly better than the average person among the masses compared to a genius like Sheng Xiao. Eighth brother, are you so sure that I would admit defeat? After all, the old man believed that Sheng Xiao was only trying to fight back from the jaws of death. He had played the same trick last time, and naturally could not scare the old man, which was why he was increasing his stakes this time. This time, we'll see who can keep their composure. The old man was waiting for Sheng Xiao to understand that he would not compromise this time. Even so, he did not know that all he got was Sheng Xiao announcing the establishment of a new company. Of course, he would bring second brother to the Su family's banquet tomorrow. At the very least, he would have a good talk with that animal before the confrontation. Over the years, Sheng Xiao had been demanding nothing from the Sheng family. Regardless of how the Sheng family viewed him, he had managed Huang Yao well. Even so, the old man could not tolerate Mu Chi-Chi. The entire Sheng family was under the protection of his ability, but none of them were grateful. How many people actually worked in Huang Yao with such a huge group and such a huge family business? That was the part where second brother understood Sheng Xiao best. All they saw was Sheng Xiao basking in the glory of the crown prince and being respected and feared by all of Jianchuan. However, they did not know how much effort Sheng Xiao had put in behind the scenes and how much responsibility he had shouldered for the Sheng family. Second brother knew very well that whether the old man could meet Sheng Xiao tomorrow. Chapter 369. Still, there was no telling when the old man would wake up from his sweet dreams. On the next day, the Su family's reunion banquet was held in their manor. Meanwhile, Jing Yun had received the results of the DNA test between him and Su Yihong the previous afternoon. Since he did not have Papa Su's DNA sample, and they were cousins, he had done a paternity test instead of a paternity test. Just as Sheng Xiao expected, Su Yihong was definitely not the Su couple's son, nor was he Jing Yun's biological brother. Jing Yun's heart was much more at ease now that he had obtained such evidence. Many mysteries had been solved because of it. Still, it would take some time for Su Yihong to personally admit that he had abandoned him at Jianchuan. Today, the Su family had a full house of guests. Many who knew the Su family well knew that their third son had gone missing many years ago, and since it was a reunion banquet, it meant that their son had been found. Still, there was no telling what kind of person the third son of the Su family was. The Su couple had come out to greet the guests early on, while Jingyun waited for Sheng Minglan to dress up before leaving the room. The guests were all curious when they saw Jingyun. Wasn't that the crown prince's assistant? Normal people might not have noticed who Sheng Zhao's former assistant was, but there were few among the nobles who did not know. This is my Feng Er, our long-lost child. Mama Su introduced him to the guests. The guests thought about it and realized that Jingyun was definitely an orphan. We've really worn out iron shoes in search of him. That child is doing well in the Sheng family, but I didn't expect him to be the third son of the Su family. Isn't that so? He really looks like a talent. The guests all began to praise him, while Su Yihong was greeting the guests as well. Although he really did not want Jing Yun to appear before them and be acknowledged, his parents were not easy to fool. Moreover, Jing Yun was careful enough, which was why the trick Su Yihong came up with had not worked on him yet. I really didn't expect that the former assistant of the Shang family would be the third son of the Su family. There's no telling what the Shang family has fallen into this time. First, they lost Mu Chi-Chi, the mayor's niece, and now they've lost Jing Yun, the third young master of the Su family. Oh my, they're really hurting. Even as the guest spoke, old Shang had already led second brother into the Su family's manor. Although Su Minglin's parents were reluctant, he was still Sheng Minglin's grandfather, and Jing Yun was indebted to him. Old Sheng, you're here. Please take a seat. Papa Su quickly greeted him. Congratulations on finding your son. It's all thanks to Elder Sheng that we can see our son again. Knowing that Sheng Xiao had left Huang Yao, Sheng Minglan did not hate the old man that much. Hence, she greeted him, Grandpa. Minglan, let's go to the side and talk. Sheng Minglan knew that the old man was probably going to ask her about Sheng Xiao, but she really did not know anything about Sheng Xiao leaving the Sheng family. Even so, the grandfather and grandson still walked to a deserted corner. You know what happened to eighth brother, right? I learned about it from the news. Sheng Minglan answered honestly. Huang Yao is a pile of loose sand right now. If you could you return to Huang Yao and help Grandpa? Old Sheng asked Sheng Minglan. You should know how much damage Huang Yao would suffer from eighth brother's departure. If you were a Sheng, wouldn't you help Grandpa in times of need? Grandpa doesn't object to you and Jingyan now. Is that all right? I need to think about it. Think about it. Did Sheng Minglan think that the old man was asking her to return because he needed her as his granddaughter? That was not it. The old man was asking her to return because he needed the Su family's backing. Now that Huang Yao was in a precarious situation, he would have an excuse to keep the shareholders in line with his in-laws. Of course, Sheng Minglan did not think as deeply as he did. Even so, he could not hide his thoughts from Jing Yun and Sheng Xiao. Jing Yun promptly told Sheng Minglan, I won't stop you if you want to return. As long as you're happy, it's fine. But you should know that Grandpa's real purpose is to use the Su family's backing to stabilize Huang Yao. Sheng Minglan felt a chill down her spine at those words. Why was it that she, as a grandfather, was always scheming against her family? Soon, Sheng Xiao led Mu Chi-Chi into the banquet hall, the crown prince of Huang Yao. All the guests' eyes were on the man and Mu Chi-Chi. No, he was no longer the crown prince of Huang Yao. Even so, his regal demeanor was still wholeheartedly convincing. It was the first time the Su couple had seen him in all his glory, and they soon had to admit that he was a legend. Chief Su, Madam Su. Sheng Xiao greeted them politely. Oh, young Master Sheng is truly extraordinary. It's Feng Er's fortune that you could groom him. Mama Su quickly praised him. That's right. You flatter me, Madam Su. Sheng Xiao's eyes found old Sheng beside them, but he ignored him. The guests were curious as well. What was going to happen between Sheng Xiao and the old man? Young Master Sheng, please forgive us for our lack of hospitality since there are too many guests today. Please help yourself. Sheng Xiao nodded and was about to greet Jing Yun with Mu Chi-Chi, but old Sheng walked up to Sheng Xiao and said, Come with me. Old Sheng walked ahead, assuming that Sheng Xiao would follow him. However, Sheng Xiao simply pretended not to hear him and walked straight to Jing Yun. Have you gotten the test results? Yes, just as you expected. Jing Yun nodded. Then when do you intend to make this matter public? Why get another piece of evidence? Jing Yun answered Sheng Xiao calmly. Meanwhile, second brother walked up to Sheng Xiao and told him, Eighth brother, you should give grandfather some face in such an occasion. Eighth brother, in such an occasion, you should give grandfather some face. He is waiting to see you in the garden. Sheng Xiao leveled second brother a sidelong glance and nodded after a moment. If you want me to drive him crazy, I can meet him. You left the Sheng family out of the blue and left such a huge mess. You should give grandfather an explanation. be it public or private. My fiancé is suddenly no longer my fiancé. Who can give me an explanation? Sheng Xiao asked second brother in return, lowering his head to look at Mu Qiqi. Still, he did not give second brother a hard time, and instead clapped Mu Qiqi on the back of her hand. Talk to fourth sister. I'll be right back. Will you be fine? Chapter 370. Mu Qiqi walked towards Sheng Minglan. The two sisters shared a look, but Sheng Minglan was still worried. Why did he go with him? I really don't know how eighth brother's temper would piss Grandpa off. Fourth sister, you know how much the old man hates me. It would be weird if he didn't faint from anger if I really went with Xiao Xiao. Mu Qiqi shrugged. Sheng Minglan chuckled at that. That's true. Grandpa would probably skin you alive now that eighth brother is leaving the Sheng family. Actually, you don't have to worry. The old man would never let anything happen to him before he achieves his goal. Do you blame him, Qiqi? It doesn't matter. He has his own position. Mu Qiqi did not have the mood to remember someone who hated her every moment. Wasn't that just making things difficult for herself? Mu Qiqi looked around at the guests, her gaze eventually landing on Su Yihong. I think all of you should focus on that man today. After all, Mu Qiqi did not believe that Su Yihong would let go of any chance to deal with Jing Yun in such an occasion. Of course, the evidence in Jing Yun's hands would be exposed as soon as he moved. When that happens, wouldn't it be clear who was the one who lost more than he gained? Meanwhile, Sheng Xiao had gone to the Su family's garden and found the old man leaning on his walking stick under the shade of a tree. His benevolent countenance would have drawn people to him. But who would have thought that an old man with such a face would have such a stubborn mind? Sheng Xiao slowly walked up behind the old man and asked, "What do you have to say? Say it." The old man turned in a hurry to glare at Sheng Xiao, his walking stick almost hitting Sheng Xiao. "You're abandoning Huang Yao for a woman? Just say what you want, eighth brother. Why do you have to cause such a ruckus every time before you're happy? Are you threatening me? Huang Yao is yours when I'm old. You're ruining your own career." After Sheng Xiao heard that, he approached the tree trunk and leaned against it. He smiled. "These things again. Can't you feel a little fresh? If you don't pretend to give up on Huang Yao, you don't have to listen to me now. Surely you don't think that I was joking with you when I left Huang Yao, do you?" Sheng Xiao's gaze suddenly turned sharp as he stared at old Sheng seriously. "Don't tell me you're not forcing me to submit?" Grandpa Sheng sneered. "You just want me to acknowledge Mu Qiqi. You just want me to admit defeat before you feel happy." Grandpa, it was rare for Sheng Xiao to speak in such a serious tone. "I don't want to force you to be with Qi. I can easily achieve that if I leave the Sheng family. Why would I go through so much trouble to torture myself? Stop acting. Can you give up on the Sheng family's wealth and status? My wealth and status were never given by the Sheng family. You have to understand why the world calls me the Crown Prince. It's not because of the Sheng family, but because I've never lost to anyone," Sheng Xiao said confidently. "That is why I could rely on my own abilities to create another Huang Yao, even if I'm not with the Sheng family. So, why should I listen to your control?" Old Sheng was speechless. Which part of Huang Yao or the Sheng family is worth my nostalgia for? If you think so highly of a young lady of the Gu family, why don't you marry her as a concubine? Wouldn't that be perfect? You know, old Sheng's eyes widened at Sheng Xiao. "Do you think your every move has any privacy for me?" Sheng Xiao said, straightening. "You can keep controlling the Sheng family and meddle with your children, but that doesn't include me. I'll say it one last time. Please pretend that I'm dead from now on." With that, Sheng Xiao moved to leave, but the old man held him back. "The Sheng family has raised you. What right do you have to choose? Whether it's Huang Yao or the Sheng family, it's all your responsibility. You can't escape it. Don't you want Mu Qiqi? Fine. After you marry the young lady of the Gu family and make Mu Qiqi your secret lover, I can turn a blind eye. Take back what you said just now. I still have some respect for you." Sheng Xiao's voice turned cold. "Don't forget that Huang Yao wouldn't be where it is today if it wasn't for me. I can agree to anything you want, aside from being with Mu Qiqi. Even 10 Huang Yaos wouldn't compare to one Mu Qiqi. With that, Sheng Xiao left under the shade of the tree, leaving old Sheng to sulk under the tree. Second brother walked up to the old man and asked, "How is it, Grandpa?" "That bastard. He insisted that I accept Muchichi." After all, he had always believed that the main problem between him and Sheng Xiao was Muchichi. "Then come, let's go back." The old man refused to admit defeat. "Talk to Huang Yao's partners and cut all ties with eighth brother. I'd like to see who would be his friend without Huang Yao's protection." Even so, second brother knew very well that Sheng Xiao wouldn't be Sheng Xiao if he was afraid of such things. "Grandpa, don't let your anger ruin your health. I really owe him in my past life." Sheng Xiao returned to the banquet hall, and Muchichi turned to look at her man. Sheng Minglan approached him worriedly. "Have you talked to Grandpa?" Sheng Xiao lowered his head and took a glass of champagne from a waiter's tray before smiling. "He still doesn't seem to accept the fact that I've left Huang Yao. Are you really not going back?" Sheng Xiao did not answer Sheng Minglan, and instead put his arm over Muchichi's shoulder. "But what are you going to do after you leave the Sheng family? You have to protect her, don't you?" Perhaps even the old man believed that he would achieve nothing without someone to rely on after leaving Huang Yao. That was why the old man insisted that he would never give up on everything Huang Yao had at his fingertips. He was just throwing a tantrum. But that was fine. He would let the old man think that way, because he would know that there was no going back when Zhongting went public. "Let's just pretend that I have nothing now." Looking around, every guest present was praising Sheng Xiao and Jingyun for being young and promising, which naturally left Su Yihong with a deadly sense of danger. Chapter 371. Halfway through the reunion banquet, the eldest uncle of the Su family finally arrived. Though he and Papa Su had always been at odds like fire and water, he would still care about the Su family's reputation on the surface and maintain his brotherly bond with Papa Su. "That must be my nephew. What a talent." The eldest uncle of the Su family was on the tall side and a little plump, which was why he appeared more burly than Papa Su. His hands were naturally strong too, and it hurt when they landed on Jingyun's body. "Big brother, you've come all the way here to congratulate me. I thank you as your younger brother." Papa Su quickly greeted him. "What are you talking about? Everyone knows that for this child, sister-in-law has been crying all day long. Now that the child is back, as the big brother, I can rest assured." Jingyun did not entertain them, and instead turned his eyes to Su Yihong and his eldest uncle. This father and son pair's wishful thinking was truly resounding. "Don't mind your eldest uncle. Just be polite." Mama Su whispered into Jingyun's ear. "Mother, can you help me announce my marriage to Minglan?" Jingyun did not care about his eldest uncle and father since he would deal with them sooner or later. Right now, all he wanted was to give Minglan a title. Mama Su smiled at that. "Got it." Hence, Mama Su went to the podium and announced Jingyun and Minglan's marriage in front of everyone. Naturally, Old Sheng was happy to see it. Even if Sheng Xiao was not around to Huang Yao, he still had Jingyun to comfort him a little. "Congratulations to you and Jingyun, fourth sister," Muchichi quickly said. Muchichi quickly congratulated him. "You don't know how worried Xiao Xiao and I were when this blockhead didn't understand. I think you're the only one who's worried. Eighth brother never asks about such things." Sheng Minglan raised a brow. "He only has you in his heart. Whatever the case, you're very happy to be with the person you love, fourth sister." Sheng Minglan nodded and turned to Jingyun. Their gazes locked, leaving the others envious. Meanwhile, the employees of Su Holdings were not just shocked. Their backs were breaking out in cold sweat as well. Because the person they were told to mess with was actually the third young master of the Su family. No wonder he didn't look like a normal office worker from the way he talked and dressed. He was actually the young master of Su Holdings. The incident soon spread in the company's group chat, and those who had made fun of Jingyun before were now on tenterhooks. "If I had known that you were the young master of the Su clan, I wouldn't have dared to offend you even if I had to die. This third young master is way too low profile. If he had revealed his identity earlier, there wouldn't have been so many misunderstandings. Looks like this third young master is patrolling incognito. Who told you guys to bully the weak and suck up to the strong? Now you've run into a tough one. In fact, Jingyun wouldn't bother with them since he had already taught them a good lesson. As long as it didn't happen again in the future, he couldn't be bothered. After lunch, the guests entered the dance floor to entertain themselves while Su Yihong chatted with his real father in the garden. Eldest uncle, I've been with the Su family for so many years, but in the end, they look more like a family. Eldest uncle Su snorted. You've been working hard for the Su family over the years, never slacking. And yet, that beggar came back and stole all your limelight. Well, I don't really care. Su Yihong muttered. Still, that younger brother of mine isn't easy to deal with. If we don't act soon, it'll be too late when he remembers. What do you plan to do? I'll bring third brother to the factory in 2 days. It'll be up to you when the time comes. The Su family had so many machines, and many of them were very dangerous. It wasn't like they couldn't deal with Jingyun if they tampered with machines. If anything happened, it would have nothing to do with them, and Jingyun could only blame his bad luck. Don't worry, it's just a small matter. Eldest Uncle Su replied. If your wings weren't full, I would have snapped my brother's slender neck. There's no hurry right now. Sheng Xiao was standing on high ground, watching as Su Yihong and the eldest uncle of the Su family stood together. His lips curled into a smile. Tell Jingyun to be careful over the next few days. Su Yihong has a plan. I must say that bloodline is such a wonderful thing. Those two really look alike. Mu Chi-Chi couldn't help being moved. If you think it's amazing, you should give birth to one and see how it works. I'm only 19. Mu Chi-Chi emphasized her age. 20 is enough. Mu Chi-Chi punched in the chest, but Sheng Xiao caught her little fist. Your grandfather is looking forward to us having a child soon. We're not even engaged, let alone married. Why would I give birth to your child? Chi-er, you've changed. You didn't treat me like this before. Mu Chi-Chi chuckled and stopped teasing him. When will the news of Zhongting's establishment be announced? When the time is right, Sheng Xiao said mysteriously. Now that he had resigned from Huangyao, everyone in Jianchuan would probably look at him in a different light. After all, he had nothing now, and he couldn't be content with watching the show so quickly. He had to let old Sheng think that he had a few more days. In the distance, Jingyun had noticed Su Yihong and the eldest uncle of the Su family sitting together from where he was beside his parents, and simply told Mama Su, eldest brother and eldest uncle are getting along. Your big brother can chat with any kind of person. It seemed that his mother trusted Su Yihong 100%, and Su Yihong's painstaking efforts over the years in the Su family were not in vain. What are you talking about? You're so happy. Su Yihong rose from his chair when he saw Jingyun nearby and walked up to mother and son. I'm saying that you're making good connections. Mama Su replied. Mother, I want to bring third brother to our factory in 2 days. What do you think? Ultimately, the Su family was a corporation that developed and manufactured medical equipment, and Jingyun must have control over the production line. That's fine. You'll be in charge of it. Thank you, brother. Jingyun said very politely. We're all brothers, and the Su family would be yours sooner or later. That's why you don't have to be so courteous with me. What did Sheng Xiao just say? Su Yihong couldn't hold back. After all, the longer Jingyun stayed with the Su family, the deeper his bond with the Su couple. Chapter 372. Having followed Sheng Xiao for years, Jingyun could naturally tell from Su Yihong's words that he was scheming. What production line? It was nothing more than an excuse to cripple his body. Otherwise, Jingyun could not imagine what Su Yihong could do to him in such a place. If that was the case, and Su Yihong was harboring evil intentions, he would definitely not hold back and settle the score with Su Yihong once and for all. As for where Su Yihong would set the trap, he would have to improvise when the time comes. The reunion banquet was lively and naturally went smoothly. Since old Sheng had become in-laws with the Su family, he naturally planned to return home after the banquet. There was no lack of guests who praised Sheng Xiao in front of him, but he retorted with one line It's a pity that the kid is mischievous and insists on going out to make a name for himself. He doesn't even want to be the CEO of Huang Yao. And, as his elder, wouldn't I be letting him down if I don't fulfill his wish? In other words, old Sheng was implying that Sheng Xiao had nothing to do with Huang Yao. He's still a kid who wouldn't make mistakes. That's true. Still, he has left the Sheng family. You don't have to hold back if you see him in the future. Teach him a lesson for me. Did that mean that the Sheng family was really not acknowledging the crown prince? I'll do as you say, old Sheng. Sheng Xiao had always been able to do whatever he wanted in Jinchuan, and no one had ever dared to touch him. Now that he was really leaving Huang Yao, did that mean that the heir of Huang Yao would be changed? It seemed that old Sheng was sad about his grandson. Instead of a great empire, he insisted on a woman. The old man probably thought that his grandson was a good-for-nothing, which was why he did not intend to keep supporting him. And it would be terrible if news of that got out. As the saying goes, the river flows east for 30 years, then west for 30 years. Was the crown prince going to be a nobody, trampled by everyone? That night, it was not just the Su family's manor that was bustling. Something was happening at the Liu family as well. Lin Mu and was really acting as Liu Qianqian's bodyguard at the moment, staying by her side no matter what she did. It was a great humiliation for old Lin. The grandson of the Lin family actually went to work for a second-hand good. He really had no sense of shame. Thinking of this, the old man really couldn't take it anymore. He had to think of a way to teach this unfilial son a lesson and scare that broken shoe. Meanwhile, Liu Qianqian had just finished her class and was walking out of her tutor's private classroom with Lin Muan. But just as they were about to drive away, a black car crashed into them. Lin Mu and protected Liu Qianqian. After confirming that the accident was not serious, he unbuckled his seatbelt and got out of the car. He wanted to reason with the other party. Unexpectedly, four burly men came down and grabbed Lin Muan. Then, they said fiercely, "Are you tired of living? How dare you block our path?" Lin Muan turned to Liu Qianqian and said, "Call the police." However, the other party did not give Lin Mu a chance to react at all. Their fists directly smashed over. It was not one person, but four people. Liu Qianqian was frightened by the scene in front of her. She quickly called the police, but was threatened by the other party. "If you dare to call the police, I will kill him." Liu Qianqian quickly comforted them. "What do you want? Do I need money? I'll give it to you. Don't hurt him. Do you think we lack that?" In the end, Lin Mu was a police academy student and knew self-defense. But there were four of them. If he moved, they would quickly and viciously press him to the ground. Their skills clearly showed that they were not gangsters from the outside. "Then what do you want? We know this young master is a young master of the Lin family, but he dumped my sister. So, we're using this as a pretext to beat him up. What can he do? Even the Lin family doesn't recognize him now. I've never been in love. How can I dump your sister?" Lin Mu wiped the blood from his nose and smiled. "I'm afraid it's that old man from the Lin family who asked you to come." The others were stunned. They did not expect Lin Mu to expose them. "I can't fight back even if you beat me up today. I can't beat you anyway. But it's the first time I've heard of a grandfather getting someone to beat his grandson up. It's really touching. Us beating you up has nothing to do with the Lin family. The trouble is so obvious. Why do you hide it? He's my grandfather. I won't fight back if he really beats me up." The others could not keep up the perfunctory act. They let go of Lin Mu's collar. "Cut the crap. I'll beat you up again the next time I see you." With that, they got up and left. It was only then that Liu Qianqian came forward, crying. She wanted to help Lin Mu up, but he pushed her away. "There's blood. It's dirty." "What's dirty?" "I don't mind." Liu Qianqian helped him up and put him in the car. "Are you okay? Do we need to go to the hospital? I'm not good enough as a bodyguard. I can't protect you at all when you're in danger." Lin Mu's face was swollen. He clutched his chest and panted with difficulty. "Are you sure it's your grandfather who got someone to do it? He just wants to teach me a lesson," Lin Mu replied. "He's a little agitated when he sees us together. I understand. How can there be such a grandfather?" Liu Qianqian really could not understand. "He just wants to scare you so that you don't have anything to do with me." Lin Mu wiped away the blood on his face helplessly. You have to drive the car. Even if he wants to scare me, he shouldn't really hit you. Lu Qianqian really could not understand how a grandfather could be so cruel to his own grandson. He's at his wit's end. Lin Mu's gaze darkened. He hoped that he did not further agitate his grandfather. This is just the beginning. He will definitely think of a way to make me beg him so that I will willingly return to the Lin family. As long as you want to find a place to hide, my house will always be open for you. Aren't you afraid of my grandfather's revenge? Lin Mu narrowed his eyes and asked Lu Qianqian. The Lu family is not glass. It will shatter with one touch. Moreover, you are all alone now. If you lose me, you could go begging on the streets. With that, Lu Qianqian pressed a tissue on Lin Mu's nose. Wipe it. I'll send you to the hospital for a checkup. There's really no need. Listen to you or listen to me? Lu Qianqian crossed her arms and asked Lin Mu dangerously. I think your grandfather must be a pervert in his past life. How could he do such a thing? Let him vent his anger. He's old. Lin Mu was very open-minded. Chapter 373. But that doesn't stop me from being your bodyguard. Lu Qianqian pressed on his wound, and Lin Mu inhaled sharply. You're about to fall apart, and you're still boasting shamelessly. Lu Qianqian glared at him and drove the damaged car to the hospital. After a checkup, the doctor insisted that Lin Mu be hospitalized. Young man, don't fight just because you have a good recovery. His grandfather did it. Lu Qianqian told the doctor angrily. It's the first time you've seen a grandfather like that, isn't it? Beside them, Lin Mu laughed, clutching his chest. Even if he was beaten up by old Lin, he had a happy little pepper with him. Watching her scold someone was the best medicine for him. You're still laughing? You've broken a bone. Lu Qianqian was fuming. Your grandfather could really do it. You must have been picked up from the streets. Lin Mu really did not want to listen to Lu Qianqian's nagging. Hence, he hugged her in his arms and comforted her in front of the doctor. Whether my grandfather did it or not, little Pepper, you have to believe me. I'll protect you even if I have to risk my life. Who needs your protection? Lu Qianqian pushed Lin Mu away forcefully, only to touch his wound. Lin Mu quickly shrunk into a ball, sweating. Lu Qianqian did not think of anything else. As a good friend, she certainly would not leave Lin Mu alone. Even so, she did not know how serious Lin Mu was with his vow today. At the Sheng residence, old Sheng had the Sheng family cut all ties with Huang Yao because he did not want Xing Xiao to have him in his hands this time. Even so, he had to answer to the Gu family after Sheng Xiao left Huang Yao. They had agreed to settle things with Mu Qiqi. But this time, the old man did not only settle things with Mu Qiqi, but also Sheng Xiao. Sheng Xiao promptly announced that he was leaving Huang Yao. On the next day, old Sheng invited the Gu family to his house, and Mama Gu stayed in the old man's study for 2 whole hours. Old Mr. Sheng, the Gu family is aware of what happened to your family. Why don't we just forget about the Crown Prince and Xiling? I think the Crown Prince really likes the young lady of the Shun family. Hearing this, Grandpa Gu waved his hand and said to the Gu family, Madam Gu, please don't worry. Everything will go according to plan. I know my grandson. He's just trying to threaten me now. When he knows that threats don't work, he'll listen to me. But, Mrs. Gu, what do you think of this? You saw my second grandson when you came in just now. He's not married yet. We'll stick to the original plan and let Miss Gu marry into the Sheng family. She can choose whichever she likes. What do you think? Madame Gu recalled how second brother Sheng walked past her just now. He was indeed a handsome man. So, she nodded. If that's the case, I'll agree to it. After all, the Gu family was aware that the second young master of the Sheng family held great power in Huang Yao. They could accept either the Crown Prince or the second young master. Then we have a deal. After the Gu family left, sixth brother asked the old man, Grandpa, what's going on? It has nothing to do with you. Just mind your own business. Grandpa Sheng told sixth brother. Everything was ready. There was just no telling when that unfilial son of his would stop being willful. Sixth brother hung his head and turned to leave, but the old man suddenly called out to him. Wait. Grandpa, seal eighth brother's room as well, and spread the word that eighth brother is never coming back to the Sheng family now that he's out. Are you serious, Grandpa? Sixth brother was puzzled. Since eighth brother's acting is so real, I certainly can't show weakness. The old man snorted coldly. He would act as if he no longer cared for Sheng Xiao, so that he would know that his threats were useless. Even if the outside world knew that Sheng Xiao and Huang Yao were at odds, so what? With the Su family moving to Jianchuan and the Shun family regaining their vigor, a military enterprise began to rise. That night, it was raining and snowing. Both Sheng Xiao and Shun Jianchuan visited the office of Zhongting Industries, where they would handle official business in the future. Su Che was pushing Shun Jianchuan's wheelchair, while Sheng Xiao put his arm around Mu Qiqi's shoulder. I like this place, Mu Qiqi told both Sheng Xiao and Shun Jianchuan after walking one round. It's a great view, unlike Huang Yao with diamonds everywhere. It's so uncomfortable. Do you dislike Huang Yao? Or do you dislike the people there? Sheng Xiao asked, pinching Mu Qiqi's chin. Since you've cut ties with the Sheng family, when are you going to announce your identity? Shun Jianchuan asked. At first, I wanted to teach the old man a lesson and let him know my resolve. But now, I think that it's better to keep my identity a secret so that the outside world would think that I've fallen out with Huang Yao. Then, the old man would think that I'm nothing without Huang Yao. That way, I could have more peace in the early days of Zhongting, which is good for my work. Shun Jianchuan nodded at that. You're the lazing son-in-law of the Shun family. You just have to hide in the Shun family. That's what I think, too. Sheng Xiao replied. But can you take it if the outside world laughs at you for being a coward? Those people, I always have a way to trouble them behind their backs. Sheng Xiao was nonchalant. Since that's what you plan to do, just do it. The Shun family could even help you with Huang Yao. Are you going to suffer for a while, CEO? Isn't that right? You're in for it, with a husband who's been chased out of the family. Shun Jianchuan really did not want to see the two flirting, and so had Su Che push him to his office. He really wanted to sit there like a normal person, but he clearly could not do that now. As for Sheng Xiao, he was now talking about working with Zhongting. His partners had all changed. As a military enterprise that produced military supplies for the army, the people he would be dealing with now were people with real power and influence, but they were never ostentatious. This was a completely new challenge for him. When he got home, Mu Qiqi found that Sheng Xiao had stepped into a new field and couldn't help climbing onto his lap to read his research materials. Now that you've established a new company with Dad, are you going to lean toward politics in the future? Chapter 374. You're exaggerating. Mu Qiqi exclaimed, holding his hand. Xiao Xiao, I'll be waiting for you to become the new nobleman of Jianchuan. After all, even old Shun would not dare to offend Xiao Xiao so easily. It's easy with Grandpa, second uncle and Dad around. Still, why do I suddenly feel like I'm a Phoenix man? A live-in son-in-law. You don't have to be picky. Sheng Xiao laughed heartily at Mu Qiqi's words and carried her horizontally towards the bedroom. What a great business! Mu Qiqi smiled brightly as she wrapped her arms around his neck. Still, when Sheng Xiao put her on the bed, his seductive voice reached her ears. I want to have my first child when you're 20. But I'm not that old yet. Registration abroad and notarization at home when the time comes. Do you have to be in such a hurry? Mu Qiqi could not help looking at the man on top of her. Is the great crown prince afraid that I'll run away? Idiot! Sheng Xiao scolded softly before kissing her. Back at the Sheng family, second brother was put in a difficult position by the board of directors because Sheng Xiao was not around. It was fortunate that he was capable enough to stabilize the internal affairs of Huang Yao despite Sheng Zhao's hasty departure, which certainly made the old man see him in a different light. Still, there was one thing that second brother could not compare to Sheng Xiao in that they shared the same ambition. Sheng Xiao was very proactive when it came to expanding Huang Yao's territory, whereas second brother was much more reclusive. Whatever the case, The old man was very pleased that Huang Yao could maintain its current order. Late at night, second brother was still in the old man's study, reporting on his work over the last 2 days, which left the old man thinking a lot. You've done well, second brother. You haven't disappointed me, even though eighth brother has left. I can only do my best, Grandpa. Second brother never imagined that he could shoulder the responsibility of Huang Yao in such a short time. I've already called your third brother to help you. I intend to nurture a new faction so that we wouldn't have to be threatened by eighth brother anymore. The old man certainly had more ideas after witnessing second brother's ability. I'll work harder, Grandpa. If you can really shoulder the responsibility of Huang Yao, then you'll be the crown prince of Huang Yao. Grandpa, that's eighth brother's title. Whoever can make Huang Yao stronger will be the future heir of Huang Yao. Maybe I don't need eighth brother that much. Of course, that was what the old man said, but he might not think so in his heart. If second brother did anything wrong, the old man would immediately remember Sheng Zhao's good points. The old man was that capricious. Naturally, everyone liked to be praised, and second brother naturally wanted to do better when he was praised by the old man, even surpassing Sheng Zhao. In 2 days, an old friend of Grandpa's will be sending her granddaughter over as a guest. When that happens, you have to entertain her for Grandpa. Since your eldest aunt has left the Sheng family, your mother is naturally coming back to manage the family. It was as good as lifting second brother's family up, temporarily stabilizing Huang Yao. Don't worry, Grandfather. He did not believe that Sheng Zhao would remain indifferent when the Sheng family made such a move. And what waves would Gu Ziling's appearance bring to the Sheng family? On the other hand, Jingyun's image in the eyes of Su Holdings employees had undergone a complete change after the banquet. Those who would always try to pick a fight with him now dared not act presumptuously in front of him. Who would have thought that he was the young master of the Su family? It was even more unfortunate that he was about to marry the young lady of the Sheng family. Otherwise, every female employee of Su Holdings would be in an uproar. It had been 3 days since Su Yihong suggested bringing Jingyun to the factory. Jingyun knew very well that those 3 days were actually the time Su Yihong had planned everything. That night, when Su Yihong returned to the Su residence and found Jingyun and the others having dinner, he told Jingyun, "We're going to the factory tomorrow. I've arranged everything. An eldest uncle would accompany us. Then I'll have to trouble you, eldest brother," Jingyun said without batting an eyelid, because he had been waiting for this moment for days. "We'll leave tomorrow morning." With that, Su Yihong went upstairs to rest, while Mama Su told Jingyun, "Your brother really cares about you. Fenger, promise me that you will always respect your brother." "I know, Mother." With that, Jingyun buried his head in his meal, while Mama Su and Sheng Minglan discussed what they should buy wedding supplies. It was only when both of them returned to their bedroom that Sheng Minglan asked Jingyun, "Is it safe to go tomorrow? Do you have a plan?" Jingyun shook his head. "He would be suspicious if I bring someone with me, but there's no telling where he set up the traps. I'm worried if you go alone." Jingyun hugged Sheng Minglan and stroked her back. "Trust me, Minglan. I'm already immune to such things after all these years of following young master. Trust me." Having no other choice, Sheng Minglan nodded. "Then be careful. Tell me immediately if anything happens." "Don't worry." Jingyun kept stroking Sheng Minglan's back, trying to calm her down. If Su Yihong dared to make a move, he would make him pay the price he deserved. The next day, the two brothers went downstairs at the same time and sat down in front of the Su couple for breakfast. "Old Su, sometimes I really feel like I'm dreaming. Finding Fenger is my greatest fortune. Mother, third brother, and I would stay by your side from now on. It would be even better if my sister could return to the country. That's right. That girl hasn't even come back to visit her brother." Jingyun had a second sister, but she was overseas at the moment. Since the Su couple never mentioned her, Jingyun did not ask about it. Soon, the two brothers left the Su family's main gates and got into the car Su Yihong had prepared. "Yifeng, your big brother has widened your horizons today." If he did not know beforehand that Su Yihong was up to no good, Jingyun might have believed that his big brother would be so kind as to bring him to see the core of the Su family. When you're officially married, I'll transfer you to an important department in Su Holdings. I trust your ability, and I'd be much more at ease with you sharing Su Holdings' responsibilities. Jingyun smiled coolly, showing no openings in front of Su Yihong. All the good show would have to wait and see how it would play out. Chapter 375. Su Yihong gave Jing Yun a simple introduction when they arrived at Su Holdings' production line. Su Holdings dabbles in a wide range of medical fields, most famous for their research and development of high-quality consumables, as well as their focus on medical imaging. Our goal is to produce equipment that could replace imported products and benefit the common people. I have a basic understanding of those. As they spoke, they arrived at the gates of the production base, where the eldest uncle of the Su family was waiting for them. You're here. Since eldest uncle is more knowledgeable in the field of equipment, I've asked him to give you a basic explanation. Thank you, eldest uncle. Jingyun said courteously to the eldest uncle. Both the eldest uncle and Su Yihong looked at each other, both knowing what to do. Then, the trio entered the production base. Jingyun did not know where the traps were, but he had been paying special attention along the way. Under normal circumstances, it would be safe if there were people on the production line, but he would have to be extra careful if there was no one around. These machines are used to create artificial joints. Do you want to take a closer look? Sure. Jingyun nodded and walked towards the machine with his eldest uncle to see how it worked. Do you want to try how it works? I'll have the workers open one for you to try. Jingyun nodded. That was when a man wearing sterile clothes entered, intending to bring Jingyun along to try out the machine. Su Yihong and the Su family's eldest uncle shared a look as they followed behind. Then, the power was switched on, and the worker told Jingyun, "Young Master Su, these things are very sharp. You must be careful even if there are protective measures." All right. Jingyun nodded and strode forward. Just as Jingyun and the worker were experimenting, eldest Uncle Su suddenly appeared behind Jingyun and tried to push him. However, Jingyun had already seen it through the glass of the machine, and so quickly dodged, while eldest Uncle Su's entire body fell towards the open machine after he missed his target. It was fortunate that the worker managed to hold him back, but with a scream, the eldest uncle's big finger was cut off by the gear. "Hurry up and call an ambulance." Su Yihong quickly diverted Jingyun's attention when he saw that his eldest uncle had failed. "Yifeng, what's going on?" Before he could say anything, his big brother had already made things difficult for him. "Su Yifeng, is this how you treat me when I'm kind enough to teach you?" The eldest uncle of the Su family retorted. "Eldest uncle, if you want to teach me, just tell me in advance." I was just shocked by eldest uncle. "Uncle's hand is injured. Go back and explain it to Mom and Dad." He did not follow the ambulance to the hospital immediately. Instead, he looked at the bloodstains and stared at the staff who was wearing sterile clothes. "You're covering yourself up so tightly not because it's needed here, but because you don't want me to recognize you, right?" The man trembled and stuttered. I don't know anything. I'm only responsible for turning it on." "You don't have to know anything, but I'll remember your name." Jingyun pointed at the man's badge. "Young Master Su, this matter really has nothing to do with me." How vicious. If I was really pushed forward, my hands would have been crippled with so many gears. Jingyun muttered, while the man's face was already drenched in sweat. Jingyun did not make things difficult for him, but he had to keep an eye on him. Now, Jingyun would have to face his uncle who had lost his finger, and a big fight was inevitable. When they arrived at the hospital, the eldest uncle of the Su family was already stitching up his wound, although his severed finger could not be reattached. Later, Mr. and Mrs. Su rushed to the hospital and were rather worried when they found Jingyun outside the surgery room. "Are you all right? Are you and your brother all right?" "I'm fine. It's just that eldest uncle's thumb was cut off." Jingyun replied. "Where's your brother?" "Taking care of the medical fees." Jingyun replied. "What actually happened?" Papa Su asked. "It's Yifeng's fault. Eldest uncle wanted to teach him how to use the machine, but he suddenly turned around and eldest uncle lost his balance and fell in front of the machine, getting his thumb cut off by the gears. Eldest brother, you're a medical student after all. Jingyan suddenly walked up to Su Yi-hong and turned around. Look, if you were standing behind me and you didn't move, you wouldn't have lunged forward when I turn around. The only explanation for this is, what is it? Your eldest uncle wanted to push Feng. Mama Su immediately understood what Jingyan meant. That's right. If your eldest uncle didn't want to push Feng, why would he have lunged forward? Mom, you didn't see what happened. You wouldn't know. Eldest uncle could have told me earlier if he really wanted to teach me. Why would he suddenly lunge at me without saying anything? What is he trying to do? Yifeng, eldest uncle is the one who's hurt. If I don't move aside and eldest uncle succeeds in pushing me down, then my hands, both my hands, when I lose them, Papa Su finally understood what Jingyan meant at that. It wasn't just Papa Su. Even Su Yi-hong understood what Jingyan meant. Eldest uncle has no grudge against you. Why would he frame you? Yifeng, you're in the wrong here. It's fine if you admit it. An eldest uncle is magnanimous and wouldn't blame you. No grudge against me? Are you sure, eldest brother? Jingyan asked Su Yi-hong meaningfully. Could this be a misunderstanding, Feng? Mama Su was puzzled as well. After all, eldest uncle of the Su family had not done anything to their family after losing the management rights. Moreover, it had been so many years since then, and there was no reason for him to frame Jingyan. I'll tell you the truth, Mom. I knew something would happen when I went there today. Jingyan told his parents unhurriedly then. At first, I wanted to give eldest brother a chance. I might not have said anything if he didn't do anything to me, but it's clear that someone wants my hands. What are you saying, Yifeng? Papa Su stared at Jingyan in shock. That's right, Feng. What are you saying? Why can't you understand, Mom? It's fine if you don't understand. Eldest brother should understand. Jingyan turned his sharp gaze upon Su Yi-hong. Su Yi-hong panicked inwardly, but kept his composure. I think you're crazy. I didn't know that you're such a person because we haven't known each other for long. You might know a person for a long time, but you don't know his heart. Mom, Dad, I'm your son, so you should discipline him. Fenger, what exactly did you mean by those words just now? Your eldest brother. Chapter 376. Yifeng, what exactly is going on here? Explain everything clearly. Mama Su was really confused then. How did Su Yi-hong get involved in this? What was Jingyan trying to hide? Su Yifeng, what did I do wrong to you as your brother that you would slander me like this? Su Yi-hong was unaware of what Jingyan knew, and all he wanted to do was calm Mama Su. Mom, please help me with this. What are you thinking, Fenger? He's your brother in the end. How could you treat him like an enemy? Mama Su was feeling 1,000 discomfort right then. Fenger, explain yourself right now. Papa Su had given Jingyan a death order as well. After all, Jingyan had only returned to the Su family for a few days, whereas Su Yi-hong had lived with the Su couple for years. Naturally, they would side with Su Yi-hong more. It was only human nature, and Jingyan certainly did not take his parents' attitude to heart. If you want to know the answer, you have to understand one thing first. Brother, whose child is he? It wasn't just Su Yi-hong who was stunned by Jingyan's words. Even the Su couple were. Fenger, are you crazy? I carried him for 10 months and gave birth to him. How could it be fake? Mama Su promptly retorted. Jingyan stared at Su Yi-hong, just as Su Yi-hong was staring back at him. Mom, that's not what I mean. You carried brother for 10 months and gave birth to him, but then you're saying that I did it behind your father's back. Mom, when you gave birth to brother, someone else's mistress gave birth in that hospital as well, and the real brother had long since been swapped. Jingyan explained to Mama Su, before turning to Su Yi-hong. Am I right, brother? I don't know what you're talking about. Su Yi-hong naturally would not admit it. The more you talk, the more confused I am. Feng, hurry up and explain. Even a gentle person like Mama Su could not stand Jingyan's tantalizing words. Su Yifeng, you wouldn't be framing your own brother for the Su family's inheritance, would you? You've been with the Crown Prince of Huangyao for so many years. You should have learned a lot about scheming. However, I didn't expect that the person you're going to deal with is actually me. I told you long ago that I would definitely find out who left me in Jianchuan back then. Mother, father, the eldest son in front of you is actually the child of my eldest uncle and his mistress. My real eldest brother unfortunately died when he was just a few years old after he was swapped. Mama Su took 2 steps back in shock at Jing Yun's words. This is impossible, huh? Su Yifeng, you're really good at making up stories. Su Yihong found the whole thing laughable. It's easy to imagine how many tricks you've thought of over the last few days to gain power in the Su family. Whether it's true or not, we'll know after a test. Why would I take such a huge risk to slander you? Jing Yun asked in return. You don't have to admit it, but I have evidence that my uncle's mistress gave birth in a hospital. As for your identity, everything will be revealed after a DNA test with my father. I just wanted to dig out the truth about who abandoned me back then, but I accidentally found out about your relationship. Papa, Su couldn't help turning to Su Yihong at that. Eldest, is that true? Father, I've been with the Su family for so many years. Don't you trust me? How many days has it been since Su Yifeng returned? Su Yihong quickly played the family card. After learning about that, I made a bold assumption. Why did eldest brother fly to the Su family's private mansion on the island first when father and eldest uncle were fighting over the management rights? I suspected that eldest uncle was the one who took me away, but I would have been used as a bargaining chip to threaten father when you were fighting over the management rights. So why was I abandoned? It bothered me for a long time, and it was only when I found out about eldest brother and eldest uncle's relationship that I finally understood. As long as I'm not in the Su family, eldest brother is the rightful heir. And since he's the heir, doesn't that mean that eldest uncle succeeded in seizing power? That's why eldest brother personally took me to Jianchuan and abandoned me, while eldest uncle never bothered the Su family after so many years and instead supported them diligently. Moreover, eldest brother, you're unmarried. Why are you still unmarried, even though you're over 40? The reason is simple. Your blood type doesn't match your parents', and if you marry and have children, your blood type would easily be exposed. That's why you have to be careful. Do you understand the answer now? Su Yihong couldn't help clapping for Jing Yun at that. I really couldn't tell that you're not just brilliant in your methods, but also outstanding in your storytelling. You've said so much, but where's the evidence? Then tell me first, are you and eldest uncle really father and son? Jing Yun retorted, not to be outdone. Of course I'm father and mother's child. So confident. Jing Yun couldn't help chuckling. You might not know this, eldest brother, but I did a DNA test with you when you weren't paying attention, and it showed that we're cousins. Who would know if it's real or not? Su Yihong refused to admit it. It doesn't matter. You can do it as many times as you want. Jing Yun said, I just want to tell you that you shouldn't think about getting out of this unscathed after setting me up. Just wait and see. With that, Su Yihong continued to stand by the door of the surgery room, waiting for eldest uncle's surgery to be over. Meanwhile, Su Yihong's parents were in a complete mess. They simply didn't know who to believe and could only stand awkwardly by the door of the surgery room. Unable to hold back any longer, Mama Su pulled Jing Yun aside and told him, that joke you made just now was too much. How could you hurt your eldest brother like that? Mother, does the fact that you've pulled me here mean you have doubts? Mama Su said nothing. After all, she had searched for Jing Yun at the airport for a long time after she lost him, and spent the last few days in a miserable state. Even so, she knew very well that when she returned to the Su family's island, she found Su Yihong's clothes that he never wore before in his room. Moreover, Jing Yun wasn't young then. How could he simply follow a stranger? Unless that person was someone he knew and trusted enough. Your father and I will naturally get to the bottom of this matter. You have to be quick, or Su Yihong would have emptied Su Holdings. Chapter 377. Since they had fallen out, there was no way they could get along well from now on. Mother and son returned to the door of the surgery room, and the eldest Su uncle soon left the room, accompanied by a nurse. Are you all right, eldest uncle? Su Yihong asked as he approached him. The eldest Su uncle's face was pale, but it was only his hand that was hurt. It's just a finger. It's not a big deal, but you have to be careful from now on, Yifeng. Don't be so reckless. You don't know, eldest uncle, but our third brother said a lot of unbelievable things during your surgery, including that I'm actually your son. The eldest Su uncle did a double take at those words before laughing out loud. Is that so? So funny. Jingyan laughed as well. What's true can't be fake, and what's fake can't be real. It's best if we don't meet each other in the future, Su Yihong said sternly. I'll have someone arrange another place for you to stay. Why aren't you leaving the Su family, eldest brother? You can do whatever you want in front of mom and dad if I leave. Do you think I don't know what you're up to? Su Yihong was determined to be the dominant figure. It was truly admirable that he could keep his composure even when the truth was just a paper's breadth away. That applies to you too, eldest brother. After all, I don't know what you would say in front of mom and dad, which is why I'm not moving out, Jingyan said. Just like that, the two brothers began to hate each other, leaving the Su couple helpless. I've really saved an ingrate today. The eldest Su uncle could not help snorting. Still, Yihong, your parents know what kind of person you are after being with the Su family for so many years. Don't worry, those people wouldn't be able to sow discord with just a few words. Don't worry? Eldest brother and eldest uncle could do a DNA test, and everything will be fine. I'll be waiting. With that, eldest Uncle Su turned to look at his younger brother. Third brother, you're amazing. You've only returned to the Su family for a few days, and you're already stirring up trouble. You better keep your eyes open, or else it won't look good when you get tricked. As for my hand, I originally wanted to let it go. But since you, my son, want to do this, I have no choice but to hold back. You should compensate me for what you should. Also, in the future, you'll be the only one at Su Enterprise. Both father and son were quite good. After following Sheng Xiao for so many years and seeing so many actors, the pair's acting skills were above average. After that, both eldest Uncle Su and Su Yihong left the hospital, while Mama Su turned to Jing Yun and said, "Let's go home. Your father needs to investigate this matter." All right, Jing Yun nodded. After that, the family of three returned to the Su residence, where Su Yihong was already sitting on the living room sofa, watching the three of them. Mother, just who exactly left the Su family? The two of you have to say something. It appeared that Su Yihong was trying to force Jing Yun to leave the Su family. Mama Su had always been smart, but she was clearly troubled when it came to that, which was why she simply looked at Papa Su. You make the decision on this matter. Papa Su sighed and answered his family. Since things have come to this, we must first investigate who is lying. How about this, Ma? I'll arrange another place for you, Yifeng and Minglan, but we still have to prepare for the wedding. What Papa Su meant was that he and Su Yihong would stay in the manor. I'll bring you back when things are sorted out. Mama Su thought about it and decided that it was the best solution at the moment. All right, I'll listen to you. What about you, Yifeng? I'll naturally listen to you, father. After all, in that very moment, Jing Yun appeared to be a pusher who had disrupted a happy family. Even so, Mama Su understood Jing Yun well. If things like this were not cleared up, the damage would only be greater in the end. That's good. I'll do the DNA test as soon as possible, father. Live outside? How could Jing Yun not worry? Would Su Yihong spare him after he had disrupted Su Yihong's career over the years? That was why he promptly brought Sheng Minglan and Mama Su to Jingting. In the end, Sheng Minglan was a Sheng, and there was nothing wrong with her staying here. Still, he even brought his elders. Sheng Xiao couldn't help frowning. He can't even handle such a small matter, and is even chased out. Eighth brother, Jingyan almost lost both his hands today. If he doesn't make things clear now, who knows what Su Yihong would do behind his back. That's why he had no choice, Sheng Minglan explained. Rising from the sofa, Shang Xiao did not really make things difficult for them. You can stay at Jingting for now. And I will return to the Shun's residence. Actually, young Master Sheng, you don't have to go through all that trouble. Aunt, you are Jingyun's mother and naturally a guest. You would feel uncomfortable with Chi and I here, and we have our own things to do. It's more convenient to stay at the Shun's residence for now. Sheng Xiao replied. Eighth brother, are you really not going to care about the Sheng family's affairs? I'm just a live-in son-in-law with nothing to do right now. Don't you know that? Sheng Xiao raised a brow at Sheng Minglan. I don't believe you. Sheng Minglan rolled her eyes. Still, I do have to be careful this time. I have many places under my name, and I wouldn't have to bother you and Xiao Qi. At that, Sheng Xiao smiled and looked seductively at Jing Yun. There are only two outcomes when a matter is exposed. The first is to fill in the loophole, but it cannot be hidden forever when it comes to blood ties. That is why Su Yihong is holding you guys back now, but he is more likely to lean towards the second objective, which is to make time to empty Su Holdings, because he knows that it's only a matter of time before his identity is exposed. And that eldest uncle of yours has been working with Su Yihong for years at Su Holdings. There's no telling how many traps he has set, and Su Holdings would definitely be in trouble if this continues. What do you plan to do? Jingyan looked at Sheng Xiao as well, but said nothing. You've been with me for so many years. Such a small matter shouldn't trouble you, right? I'm guessing that Uncle Su is staying at the manor because he knows what Su Yihong is up to. What I'm afraid of is that Su Yihong has already prepared the shell of his new company and is ready to slip away. Mama Su felt a chill just by hearing that. Chapter 378. Luckily, I managed to cut my losses in time. The title of the Crown Prince is indeed well-deserved. Mama Su couldn't help sighing at that. It's also fortunate that Feng has learned to be calm and reserved after being with you for so many years, or eldest brother would have played him to death. The reason Mama Su was so certain that Su Yihong was a fake was because Jing Yun had shown her the DNA test. Thinking back to what had happened all those years ago, Papa Su might not have noticed it. But as a mother and a woman, it wasn't as if she couldn't feel anything. For example, Su Yihong had deliberately led her down many wrong paths when she was searching for Jing Yun over the years. Although the imposter's excuse was so high-sounding when he was discovered, and instead of having Mama Su keep searching, it would be better to find a fake one. Everything will be perfect. If you're smart, Uncle, you would immediately suspend Su Yihong from his position and cut off all contact between him and Su Holdings. After all, there could be a good reason. All right, I've said so much. It's time for me to pick up Qi. After all, I'm a person who has nothing better to do now. Thank you, young master. Jing Yin told Sheng Xiao. Sheng Xiao waved him off nonchalantly. He knew from the start that Jing Yun's matter wouldn't go so smoothly. How could Su Yihong be exposed so easily after lurking in Su Holdings for so many years? Not even Jing Yun himself had such a dream. Still, Su Yihong's methods were ruthless, and he couldn't let him stay in the dark anymore. Mu Qiqi couldn't help asking Sheng Xiao when she saw that they were heading to the Shan's residence today. Grandpa, are we going back for dinner? Jing Yun has taken over Jing Ting for the time being. Sheng Xiao replied, and told Mu Qiqi everything that happened to Jing Yun at Su Holdings today. Mu Qiqi couldn't help shuddering when she heard it all. I've been to Su Yihong's class. Sheng Xiao raised his voice dangerously. It was that time when I was waiting for my instructor. I saw that man from afar and knew that he wasn't simple at all. The dominance and ambition he showed left a deep impression. That's why Jing Yun has met his match. Sheng Xiao chuckled. I can also see what this person has learned after following me for all these years. Both of them returned to the Shun residence, but the smell on Mu Qiqi was unbearable. That was why the first thing Sheng Xiao did was to have Mu Qiqi take a bath in her room. When old Shun saw Sheng Xiao entering the fish pond alone, he knew that his granddaughter must have run into some terrible corpse. My retired comrades often talked to me about you in the past few days. After all, our families have been friends for generations. It's really a pity that things have come to this. Your second brother is in charge of the Sheng family now. Rumor has it that your grandfather has already announced that he is cutting all ties with you and drawing a clear line between them. It's true. Sheng Xiao looked at the calm surface of the water and smiled. I'd be happy to see him nurture a new force. Seeing that he had really let it go, Grandpa Sheng stopped talking about the Sheng family. How's Zhongting going? I'm meeting with the military procurement department tomorrow. Sheng Xiao replied. Let's see if the crown prince can still make it in another line of work. The old man teased Sheng Xiao. You know you have nothing now. You're only able to do whatever you want under the Shun family's protection because you're basking in Muqiqi's light. That's why I say that sure is my lucky charm. Sheng Xiao did not mind the old man's teasing at all, just as the old man did not really despise Sheng Xiao for having nothing. The kid had talent and means, which was why Grandpa Sheng would keep pestering him. One more thing. Rumor has it that the granddaughter of an old friend would come to the Sheng family in 2 days. Do you know about that? Old friend? It was the young lady of the Gu family whom old Sheng had taken a liking to. Even if he didn't return to Huangyao, Grandpa Gu was still determined to stand on the same side as the Gu family, right? I hope that this matter won't cause any harm to Shao Qi. In that case, it would be better to know if the young lady whom old Sheng had taken a liking to was for him or second brother. Meanwhile, after Mama Su and the others left the Su residence, Papa Su suspended Su Yihong for the time being, just as Sheng Xiao expected. Yihong, I believe you're innocent, but this is a serious matter. I have to get to the bottom of this and clear your name, or you'll be criticized no matter how much you do for Su Holdings. Su Yihong naturally pretended to be innocent. Don't worry, Dad. I understand. All right, we'll do a paternity test tomorrow. Be that as it may, Su Yihong was talking to eldest Uncle Su on the phone behind Papa Su's back. Our combined shares are the second largest in the Su family, and I'm holding the latest project at Su Holdings. With Fei Fei helping me with the accounting fraud, what's left of Su Holdings now? The new project is the most valuable. You have to keep an eye on it. That alone is enough for us to leave and start our own business. What are we waiting for? My silly brother is still trying to investigate our relationship. What's there to investigate? Dad, you can leave Su Holdings first. I'll cover you. You really shouldn't underestimate Su Yifeng. I didn't expect that he would dig out what we've been hiding for years. Do you have the confidence to escape unscathed? I don't think he's easy. Su Yihong couldn't help chuckling at that. It's too late, even if he has 3 heads and 6 arms. Moreover, I really don't think he's anything special. Isn't he just tagging along with that crown prince of Huangyao? Now that Sheng Xiao has been chased out of the Sheng family and Huangyao has been shuffled, what does he have to fear? Su Yihong was cautious enough, but he was still a little conceited. That said, I'd like to see how Su Yifeng would turn things around. Turn things around? That was easy. It was late at night at Jingting. The living room was still lit, and Jingyan was talking to Sheng Xiao on the phone, while Mama Su and Sheng Minglan were asleep. I've learned from Mother that Su Yihong holds the latest research results of Su Holdings. He's the future of Su Holdings, and I've calculated his and eldest uncle's shares. They're a great threat to Su Holdings too. What research results could it be that he's holding on to? Sheng Xiao asked Jingyun in return. It's not as if we haven't faced such a situation before. He wants to take it? Then let him take it. As long as your father tells the relevant departments that the technology is a major safety hazard, or come up with a more serious reason to stop it, what use is there for him to hold on to the latest research results? Chapter 379. Having showered, Sheng Zhao's muscular body was revealed as he sat on the sofa in the room, talking to Jingyun on the phone. After all, every room in the Shun family's villa had its own bathroom and study, and he liked the antique furnishings from the bottom of his heart. Tomorrow was the day he would take a new step. Without the dazzling diamonds and his status as the crown prince, he must now be more composed and reserved, and definitely could not show his old image to others. Muqiqi was aware that he would be discussing the partnership with Zhongting tomorrow. That was why she sat on the bed after her shower and carefully observed the man. Although Sheng Xiao was reading documents and talking to Jingyan on the phone, he knew that the little one was staring at him with a heated gaze, and he could not concentrate. You're peeking at me for so long. Are you all right? Mu Qiqi smiled as she got off the bed and climbed onto Sheng Zhao's lap. Who asked you to be so handsome? Is there something you want to talk to me about? Tomorrow. Isn't it a new start for Zhongtan? I hope everything goes well for my husband. Mu Qiqi looked down at Sheng Zhao's collarbone and traced the shape of the tattoo with her finger. Sheng Zhao looked down at the little one in his arms and gave her a peck on her lips. At least you have a conscience. It's not a waste for me to abandon the Diamond Empire. Well, it's getting late. Let's rest. Mu Qiqi started drawing circles on Sheng Zhao's chest. Holding her little hand, Sheng Zhao carried her horizontally and walked towards the bed. In fact, Huang Yu and Mu Qiqi had been gossiping about the Sheng family after dinner, telling her that Miss Gu was coming to visit them. The outside world had many speculations after the two families made such a big fuss. Old Sheng, you found another backer for Huang Yao. Now that second brother and third sister are not married, second brother is most likely to get married. You don't know, second aunt. Mu Qiqi smiled to Huang Yu. Why do you think old Sheng is in such a hurry to call off my engagement with Xiao Xiao? He's not preparing Miss Gu for the rest of the Sheng family, but for Xiao Xiao. But hasn't eighth brother already left Huang Yao? Old Sheng probably thinks that Xiao Xiao is throwing a tantrum. Moreover, even if Xiao Xiao is outside, the two families could still ignore his feelings and settle things on their own. Mu Qiqi knew very well about old Sheng. She had almost figured out all of his tricks. Even without eighth brother's consent, when has he ever respected the opinions of his grandchildren? Mu Qiqi asked Huang Yu in return. Huang Yu gave Mu Qiqi a thumbs up after hearing that. You are becoming more and more like the eldest daughter of the Shun family now. You are not like the timid little girl when we first met. Why are you afraid of the Shun family? The Shin family is not a family that ordinary people can get involved with. Mu Qiqi smiled. Qiqi, I mean, if eighth brother was forced to go back and marry the young lady of the Gu family, what would you do? Although it was an impossible assumption in her mind, she thought about it carefully since Huang Yu asked. What if? Huang Yu said, what if there would come a day when Xiao Xiao must marry the young lady of the Gu family, and I would find the strongest man to marry and ignore him? Huang Yu couldn't help laughing at that. You're the one who can't bear to. Gu Xiling, the young lady of the Gu family, was about to visit the Sheng family. Old Sheng had deliberately leaked the news so that Sheng Xiao would know that if he did not return to the Sheng family, neither the heir of Huang Yao nor the young lady of the Gu family would belong to him. Of course, Old Sheng's move was probably meant to slap the Shun family in the face. I've broken off my engagement with you and found another perfect marriage alliance. Still, everyone knows that the crown prince has abandoned Huang Yao and would rather stay with the Shun family as a pauper with nothing. The next day was a big day for the Sheng family. Thanks to second brother's arrangements, the Gu family was bringing Gu Xiling to the Sheng family as a guest. In fact, it was old Sheng's first time meeting Gu Xiling in person, and he had only seen her in pictures before. Many things had happened to the Sheng family recently, and they were in a precarious situation. Grandpa Sheng had brought her over at this time because he wanted to stabilize Huang Yao. After all, with a strong marriage alliance, their strength would be even stronger. It was to let the outside world see that Huang Yao had Su Holdings first, and then the Gu family. Even if Sheng Xiao was not here, the shareholders would have full confidence in Huang Yao. Second brother had been busy for days just for this meeting. Still, although the engagement with the Shun family had been broken off, eighth brother was not at home. Was the old man not afraid that the Gu family would not be willing to have the Gu family come? At the moment, he was not aware that he was one of the candidates. That morning, several white Maseratis drove to the Sheng family's house. Mama Gu was not the only guest, but also Papa Gu and Gu Xiling Sant. There were only 4 of them, but they brought 8 bodyguards. It was probably to set the scene for Gu Xiling. Everyone in the Sheng family had returned, but not Sheng Zhao's family. In the instant that Gu Xiling entered the house in her long black dress, second brother felt as if something had struck him in the heart. All he could think about was Gu Xiling's fiery red lips. She had long wavy hair and a face that resembled a goose egg, with a tear-shaped mole beneath her fine eyelashes that was particularly eye-catching. Of course, There was a hint of coldness in the young lady's presence. The young lady of the Gu family is truly extraordinary. Xiling, you should treat the Sheng family as your own. You're too kind, Grandpa Sheng. Gu Xiling was very aware of the Sheng family's current situation. Her parents wanted her to choose between Sheng Xiao and the second young master and see who she liked. If she liked the second young master, things would be simple, get engaged and get married. But if it was Sheng Xiao, things would be much more complicated. After all, Sheng Xiao was not with the Sheng family at all, but the Shun family. Gu Xiling had naturally heard about what happened between him and Mu Chi-Chi. Xiling, take a good look at second young master. Do you like him? Mama Gu asked her daughter quietly, gesturing at second brother with her chin after everyone had taken their seats. Gu Xiling glanced at second brother before answering her mother. Isn't there another one? Does that mean you're leaning towards Sheng Xiao, the crown prince? I would like to meet him, Gu Xiling said. Since you're staying with the Sheng family for some time, you would have the chance to meet him. It's a little troublesome, but my daughter likes it. Chapter 380. Second brother, you like Miss Gu, don't you? Sixth brother chuckled when he saw second brother's gaze. Well, it's no wonder. Such an icy beauty with such a temperament would definitely make anyone want to conquer her. Still, it's a shame that grandfather is keeping her for eighth brother. Don't talk nonsense, second brother warned him. It would be better if eighth brother never returned to the Sheng family. He could just be a pauper at the Shun family. Sixth brother's unintentional words really gave second brother an idea. He had certainly been convinced by Sheng Zhao's methods when he was around, which was why he always let Sheng Xiao do whatever he wanted, believing that it was only natural. But now that Sheng Xiao did not want anything from the Sheng family, second brother believed that he had the right to compete with eighth brother. I don't have to say it, but I really don't care for Miss Gu's looks and family background. So what if she's the mayor? Don't even think about Miss Gu. Grandfather has plans. Second brother, don't tell me I don't even know this much. I know Miss Gu isn't keeping it for me, but I think you could try to fight for her. Miss Gu will be staying at our house for a while. You could slowly cultivate your feelings. Just as sixth brother finished speaking, old Sheng told second brother, find some time to walk around with Xiling and familiarize yourself with the Sheng family. Don't disappoint me, second brother. Don't worry, grandfather. Gu Xiling turned to look at second brother. The truth was that the man's looks were top-notch, or at least one in a million. Even so, she had great expectations for the legendary crown prince. There were some things that she would never know unless she met him. At the moment, Sheng Xiao was wearing a very formal black handmade suit in a very formal business clubhouse, walking together with a group of people in military uniform. Su Che was beside him, looking no different from a soldier. I really didn't expect that the crown prince of Huangyao would start a military business after leaving the Sheng family. Life is full of twists and choices, isn't it? Secretary He. Sheng Xiao had arranged everything very well. Because of the man's identity, Sheng Xiao had always strived to keep a low profile. That left the man very satisfied. He was already aware of Sheng Zhao's invincibility in the business world and his great success at such a young age. He certainly had extraordinary skills. Sheng Xiao, I hope that the quality of your products would live up to my trust. Thank you, Secretary He. The quality of military supplies is very important. Nothing is more important than quality. Then, let's have a pleasant cooperation. Just like how it was back at Huangyao, Sheng Xiao had secured a major contract with Zhongting. Such an outstanding young man. I'll see you off, brother. While old Sheng was plotting how to make Sheng Xiao admit defeat, Sheng Xiao had already successfully negotiated the partnership between Zhongting and the military. Other than his relationship with the Shun family, his personal ability was also an important factor in the other party's choice. Such a person, when he was in Huangyao, was so sharp, but now that he had changed his profession, he immediately put away his edge. He did not drive a sports car, did not wear bright clothes, and spoke and did things modestly and calmly. This man, his life, was very flexible. Brother. Sheng Te's brother Shun. Sheng Xiao and Su Che saw her off safely and then returned to the Shun family. Chief Sheng, you seem to understand the needs of the army. Su Che had learned another thing about Sheng Xiao today. She had thought that since he was in the diamond business and had suddenly changed his profession, he would more or less be ignorant of the trade. However, after listening to Sheng Xiao's briefing to Secretary He today, he felt that Sheng Xiao had been in the military before. Sheng Xiao sat in the car and closed his eyes slightly. It's not difficult to know what the other party wants. I just need to observe you carefully. Su Che froze for a moment. It turned out that Sheng Xiao had such considerations when he asked him to be his assistant. There were some people that you just couldn't help but admire. So, are we going to use this method to receive customers in the future? Let's keep a low profile if we can, Sheng Xiao said. After all, everyone we come into contact with now has a shocking background. In the future, he would not be able to play those tricks anymore. But it's also more mysterious and powerful, isn't it? Sheng Xiao's lips curled into a smile. He adjusted himself to a comfortable angle and closed his eyes. That's more interesting, isn't it? Well, it's still early. Where are we going? Put me in the forensics lab. You go back to the Shun family. Are you going to see Miss Chi as an assistant? That was not a place anyone could enter. Even if he was Chi Er's partner, he could not simply enter the criminal investigation department. Mu Chi had been seeing more corpses lately, and her experience was gradually increasing. She could analyze whether it was homicide, suicide, poisoning, or drowning, and whether the corpse was found at the first crime scene or where the body was dumped. The professor from the forensics department really liked Mu Chi. Otherwise, he wouldn't have specially recruited a freshman to be his assistant. But today, Mu Chi was faced with a charred corpse. It was quite similar to when Su Ziqing passed away. So much time had passed without her realizing it. Chi, what do you think about the corpse today? The victim was burned after death. If he was burned alive, his muscles would have contracted due to the heat, and his limbs would be in a fighting stance. That is why the corpse would not have any signs of life before it was burned. Following that line of thought, we should look for other causes of death. In fact, Mu Chi wanted to say that she could tell the victim's age from the obvious wound on the head, but she felt that she was still too young, and it would be best for her to speak less. That's as good as not saying anything. The experienced forensics professor could not help chuckling. Mu Chi studied seriously and walked out of the forensics lab an hour later. It was the first time Sheng Xiao saw Mu Chi wearing a white gown. From the looks of it, she really had a trace of a forensic doctor's aura. Why are you here, Xiao Xiao? Mu Chi naturally went to him when she saw him. To bring you home, Sheng Xiao replied. With that, he reached out to hug Mu Chi, but Mu Chi dodged his hand. There's a smell on my body. We've already discussed about the cooperation, right? It could be seen from Sheng Xiao's formal black tailor-made suit. Can we go now? Mu Chi took off her white gown and nodded. Yes, where are you taking me? Chapter 381. How do you know I didn't prepare a gift? Mu Chi asked in return. Sheng Xiao did not mind the smell on her, and held her hand as they headed to the hotel where they had booked lunch. Still, they met many people who knew Sheng Xiao on the way, and their attitudes towards him were quite interesting. The Crown Prince of Huang, Yao, has changed now. It's really sad to see Sheng Xiao now. He has no money or power, and yet he willingly lowered himself to be a live-in son-in-law of the Shin family. He ruined himself like this for a woman. I've been a fan of him for so many years. He doesn't have to be afraid of him now, does he? Mu Chi and Sheng Xiao heard those discussions as they passed by, and sneered inwardly. Even if Sheng Xiao had really left the Sheng family, a starving camel was still bigger than a horse, and those people would not have the right to point fingers at him. Sheng Xiao, on the other hand, appeared nonchalant. He liked to see those people's reactions. These people really like to kick a man when he's down. Mu Chi argued for her man when she took a seat. What's the rush? Sheng Xiao said meaningfully. Why waste your energy on unimportant people and things? Mu Chi only looked around at his words and found herself surrounded by rose bushes. She could not help taking out the tie she had bought for Sheng Xiao from her purse. There were blue stripes on it, a color that Sheng Xiao would not even glance at in the past. But now, he chose to keep a low profile. I wanted to give it to you last night, but you weren't wearing anything at the time. Sheng Xiao lifted his chin. Come here and help me tie it. Mu Chi rose from her seat and walked to Sheng Xiao, tying his necktie for him like a newbie. Her movements were really clumsy. Sheng Xiao wrapped his arm around her waist and watched as she seriously thought about the steps to tie the tie. Feeling pleased, he asked, "Did you just learn it?" "Yeah. I watched videos online and failed a few times," Mu Chi said quietly. Mu Chi said quietly, "You've always been so impeccable in the Sheng family, and I rarely have the chance to help you with such trifles. Looks like my little one is learning how to be a good wife. Now that you're staying with the Shun family, I finally have the chance to play around with you, or I'll kick you out." How arrogant! Sheng Xiao smiled and suddenly hooked his arm around Mu Chi's neck. Then he kissed her on the lips. "So, I'm like a tiger being bullied by a dog. You're the dog." Mu Chi was rather dissatisfied with his description. Then she wrote on his thighs, "Moreover, I know your real intention today is not to celebrate. You just want to appease me so that I won't be bothered about Miss Gu." That's right. That's right. So many thoughts. After the two of them had enough intimacy, the two of them started the real lunch. In fact, Sheng Xiao had another purpose. Old Sheng had put on such a big show to give him a warning, and Sheng Xiao would certainly return the favor. Grandpa Sheng would be very anxious if he saw him eating out with his little one without their relationship being affected at all, wouldn't he? Sure enough, when old Sheng learned about it, he slammed the table angrily and stood up. "You good for nothing. Can you eat by staying with a woman?" The young master of the Sheng family is actually throwing himself at a woman. What a great humiliation to the Sheng family. If not for his ability, the Sheng family would have gotten rid of such an unworthy descendant long ago. Meanwhile, at the Su residence, Su Yihong and Papa Su had gone to the hospital for a paternity test. He appeared unfazed in the face of danger, as if he wasn't worried about the outcome at all. Was his composure really because Jingyan had wronged him, or was he putting on an act for Papa Su's benefit? "Father, I believe that the test would prove my innocence. When the time comes, you would know who is lying between me and Yifeng. I don't want you two brothers to turn against each other," Papa Su said emotionally. Su Yihong interacted with his father as usual. The more nervous he was, the more he reminded himself not to show any flaws. That way, he and eldest Uncle Su would have more time to empty the Su family. Moreover, the core project of the Su family was all under his control. To smoothly seize Su Holdings, he and eldest Uncle Su had even thought of a way to seize management rights. Even if he was temporarily suspended now, it would not affect the progress of their plan. On the other hand, what could Jingyan do even if he was the third young master of the Su family? Wasn't there nothing they could do about him? Now that news of Su Yihong's suspension had spread, Su Holdings would definitely take sides. Now is the best time to reshuffle the cards. And Jingyan had no leverage in this war. After learning that the two had gone for a DNA test, Mama Su told Papa Su over the phone, "I really didn't think that eldest brother could be so calm. Old Su, I've seen the DNA test between Yifeng and eldest brother, and I believe that Feng is telling the truth. You must be careful. Even if we know, we can't do anything about him without the results." Moreover, he had been lurking in Su Holdings for years and had made all sorts of preparations. "We can't stop him now, even if we wanted to. Do you want to talk to Feng or?" Mama Su asked Papa Su. "After all, he has so many years of experience. Give the phone to Feng or?" Papa Su said. "Father," Jingyan called out calmly after taking the phone. "Tell me what you think." Jingyan said nothing, and Papa Su sighed too. "Don't worry and speak boldly. I don't know why, but deep down, I'm more willing to believe you. Not only do you want to suspend eldest brother, but eldest uncle too. You're the one in charge of Su Holdings, and you don't need to find any reasonable reason, or just suspending eldest brother would be useless. Secondly, clean up eldest brother's spies and sue holdings. Think of a way to find out who eldest brother's people are, and think of a way to replace those who are close to eldest brother. Thirdly, stop the core project in eldest brother's hands. You must work with the relevant departments beforehand, and not let it fall into eldest brother's hands even if it has to be scrapped. Otherwise, Sue Holdings would lose even more if he took it away. Before they found me, both father and son had only wanted to seize power in secret. But now that I'm here, they have no choice but to make more moves. Chapter 382. When did the assessment center say the results would be out? 3 days. Why? Papa Sue pressed. Expediting it would save time and catch eldest brother off guard. Papa Sue nodded at Jing Yun's words. Come back as soon as possible when the storm blows over and share my burden. Although it's a little weird to say this now, I still want to say that it's worth it if this could bring you closer to father and son. Mama Sue said to Jing Yun after hanging up. I want to go home as soon as possible. Jing Ting is the crown prince's place, and having him stay at the Shuns isn't a solution. Don't worry, mother. Things might be troublesome, but it's not impossible. As for Sheng Xiao, how could he not know what he was thinking after being with him for so many years? If Sheng Xiao stayed at Jing Ting, old Sheng would definitely send people to harass Mu Qiqi. On the other hand, staying at the Shun's residence was much safer. And now that he was the son-in-law of the Sheng family, it was only reasonable that he would stay with Sheng Minglan at Jingting. At night, at the Sheng's residence. It was the second day after Gu Xiling moved into the Sheng's residence. To take care of his future granddaughter-in-law, old Sheng had decorated the best room in the Sheng's residence to look like her own room at the Gu's residence, even instructing the butler to pay attention to Gu Xiling's needs at all times. Gu Xiling quickly got acquainted with everyone in the Sheng family, and naturally learned what kind of existence and role Sheng Xiao had in the family. While second brother was extraordinary, he was ultimately no match for a genius like Sheng Xiao. Still, with Sheng Xiao hiding at the Shun's residence, there was nothing she could do even if she wanted to meet him, was there not? At night, second brother returned from Huang Yao and found Gu Xiling drinking tea alone at the Sheng's golf course. He walked up to her and asked, Aren't you cold? Gu Xiling turned and smiled at second brother. I'm staying at the Sheng's residence, and Grandpa Sheng treats me so well. Why would I feel cold? Grandpa likes you a lot. Second brother sat down beside Gu Xiling. But eighth brother. Speaking of which, second brother, I happen to have a favor to ask. Tell me, I want to meet Sheng Xiao in secret, said Gu Xiling. I'm really curious about him. Second brother felt a tightness in his chest at that. He is staying with the Shun family now, and the Sheng family doesn't know where he is. He definitely wouldn't come out when we meet. It's Grandpa's birthday in March. By then, eighth brother would have lost all his anger and calmed down completely. When that time comes, we'll let him return to the Sheng family, and you'll be able to see him. It seems that this is the only way. Gu Xiling nodded helplessly. Her request to see her future fiancé seemed to be perfectly justified. Once Gu Xiling was sure that the person she liked was Sheng Xiao, the old man would announce the good news at once, regardless of whether Sheng Xiao agreed or not. Even so, for some reason, second brother was feeling uncomfortable inside. The weather is still very cold. Go back to your room and rest. Okay, Gu Xiling nodded. In fact, she had the same plan. It was time to go back to her room. Why was Gu Xiling leaning toward Sheng Xiao? It was simple. She did not need a man who loved her very much. All she wanted was a marriage in name only, and use that to leave the Gu family. That was why second brother was never her choice from the start. Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi were now stuck together and passionately in love. It was clear that he did not fancy her, which made him more likely to agree to be a contract couple. Even so, Gu Xiling was overthinking things. Of all her thoughts, the fact that Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi were inseparable was the only thing that was right. First of all, Sheng Xiao would never be engaged to her. Second, Mu Qiqi was not a simple person who would let Sheng Xiao rob her just like that. Third, she had underestimated how much Sheng Xiao hated the Sheng family. As for why second brother was not her choice, a woman's intuition was very accurate. She could understand a thing or two from the way second brother looked at her. While he did not like her that much, second brother definitely saw her as an ideal partner. Even so, the last thing she needed in this life was a man's love. She was scared. On the other hand, the grandson of the Sheng family had been staying with the Shun family without a proper reason. Naturally, old Master Sheng could do many things that would make old Master Shen lose face and say things that would hurt old Master Shen's ears. The two families had been friends for years, but now that things had fallen to such a state, it was a pity and a pity. For example, one of the rumors was that the Shun family could not have a son, and so want a grandson for free, or that she was the greatest vixen in all of Jianchuan, seducing men at the age of 18 and causing a rift between her grandson and her family. What was that if not capability? Old Shun was naturally angry at those words, but he could not lash out. After all, Sheng Xiao was staying with the Shun family without a proper reason. Moreover, the engagement between the two families had been annulled, and Sheng Xiao really had no right to stay here. Sensing her grandfather's anger, Mu Qiqi pretended to be obedient. "You're a man of merit, grandfather. Why bother with those people? I feel sorry for you. You're so young, and yet you're being criticized so harshly." "Grandfather." Mu Qiqi leaned on the old man's shoulder and cried coquettishly. "Xiao Xiao would abandon the Sheng family for me. I can't just let him be and pick up a husband for free, don't you think? If you weren't so young, I would have asked you to do it, and I would have picked up a grandson for free. What's wrong with that?" The old man snorted. "I just don't get it. He's already so old. Why does he still have the effort to interfere with the affairs of his grandchildren? What does he not like about the granddaughter of the Shun family?" "Because I'm disobedient." Mu Qiqi found the root of the problem. Her birth was controversial in the first place, but that was fine since the Shun family's reputation had been restored. Still, she insisted on being a forensic doctor and did not contribute to Huang Yao at all. That was what old Sheng could not stand. Who was he trying to provoke by looking for the daughter of the Gu family? He can't even watch over his grandson. He's spreading such nasty rumors just to force Xiao Xiao to show up. You should be magnanimous and forgive the Sheng family. Grandfather and granddaughter were still chatting by the fish pond after nightfall. Sheng Xiao, who had come to catch Mu Qiqi to rest, heard their conversation. He was aware of the shouts from the Sheng family. While it was within his expectations that the Shun family would be dragged into the mess, he could not let the Shun family suffer all the time. That was why Sheng Xiao did not ask Mu Qiqi to return to her room after listening to their conversation. Instead, he turned and left so that the grandfather and granddaughter could have a good talk. Chapter 383. By the way, the old man of the Sheng family had thought of a way to cancel the engagement with the Shun family, and then turn around and welcome the young lady of the Gu family into his family. What does that mean? Old Sheng is really displeased with the little bride being his granddaughter-in-law. Back then, this little bride had also shown amazing results during the VVIP night of Huang Yao. It's a pity that old Sheng really doesn't want to pay the bill. So, the Sheng family spread the rumor that the Shun family hid their grandson and couldn't give birth to a son. Could it be that you can't give birth to a daughter, and that's why you brought the young lady of the Gu family home? The crown prince has hands and feet, but he would rather give up on a bright future in Huang Yao to stay with the Shun family. It only means that the Sheng family is a failure. Unable to have a child, they are driven to desperation and say things to provoke the Shun family. Forgive me for being blunt, but old Shun is a military man, while old Sheng is a stinky businessman. Are you bullying the Shun family because you have some reputation and many customers? Old friends? The Sheng family's method of killing the donkey after it's no longer useful is really the same. Stinky. Overnight, the mood among the nobles changed abruptly, thanks to Sheng Zhao's wide network of friends. The more friends he had, the more things he could do. Sheng Xiao promptly called the old man. From now on, he would spread rumors about the Sheng family and the Shun family even more. Of course, it had to be detrimental to the Sheng family. How could old Sheng sit still after hearing these rumors? He called old Master Shen directly. But unfortunately, old Master Shun had already deleted his contact information. Hence, when he saw the unknown number, he asked in confusion, "Who is this?" Old Shung's face fell in anger. "It's me." "Oh, it's you. What is it?" Old Shun retorted impatiently. "Old Shun, we've been friends for years. How could you bear to make such a fuss over something so trivial? Moreover, eighth brother is a grandson of the Shun family. What reason does the Shun family have to stop him from returning home? I don't want to talk nonsense with you. If you want to see eighth brother, go to the Shun family and wait for him. Don't blame me for hiding your grandson. You can't take care of your grandson. It's your incompetence." Grandpa Shun was also angry. "I have already prepared a new wife candidate for eighth brother. I hope that the Shun family will not interfere. How dare you? Don't call me again." Grandpa Shun hung up the phone abruptly. It was no wonder that Grandpa Shun was angry. When he thought of the excuse that Grandpa Shun had used to break off the engagement, he felt like he had swallowed a fly. They had been working hand in hand for so many years, but in the end, things had come to this. Soon, old Shun hung up and went to the Shun's residence with his butler. He believed that as long as the Shun family did not encourage or support him, he would have returned home long ago. After all, how could he survive in Jianchuan without Huang Yao and status? "Master, if you do this, it won't work on eighth young master. You know he won't be moved by force or persuasion. Remind me not to be so hot-tempered when I see him. Give him some face and say a few good words." Grandpa Shun was very reluctant. "Got it." Moments later, Sheng Zhao's car drove out of the Shun's residence. It was a very ordinary black Mercedes-Benz. Su Che was the driver, and they found Grandpa Sheng waiting by the door when they got out. "Chief Sheng, if Sheng Xiao had not stopped the car on his own, Grandpa Sheng might not have known that the ordinary car was eighth brother's. How could that be possible with eighth brother's flamboyant personality? How could he know that Sheng Xiao was deliberately keeping a low profile?" Watching as Sheng Xiao got out of the car, Grandpa Sheng snorted coldly and walked towards him. When they met, Sheng Xiao's first words were, "You haven't given up yet? Eighth brother, you can't just hide in the Shun's residence, can you? You are a Sheng, and you can't stay in the Shun's residence without a proper reason. It wouldn't be nice if word got out. I'll let bygones be bygones as long as you come home with me." Was that what he meant by nice? Sheng Xiao promptly put his hands in his pockets at that. "If you don't try to spread those disgusting rumors, I think I might do as you wish. Isn't it your birthday in March? I'll give you an answer on your birthday, but don't do such useless things in the meantime, and don't appear before the Shin family. Don't come looking for me in the meantime, and don't push your luck." Grandpa Sheng's brow relaxed at that. "Are you serious?" "Of course. Brat, I'll trust you one more time. Don't do anything that hurts me. You better do as you say, or I'll never step through the gates of the Shun family for the rest of my life." With that, Sheng Xiao opened the car door and got into the car, instructing Su Che to drive. "Master, it seems that young master has his own difficulties. Since he likes Miss Mu Chi so much, let him handle his personal affairs, and he would be able to give Miss Gu an explanation when he returns to the Shun family." Grandpa Sheng nodded at the butler's words. "The brat has never gone back on his word. Since he plans to return to the Sheng family on my birthday, I would certainly be generous enough to let him bid farewell to Mu Chi. In the end, he was still a Sheng. No matter how many tricks the Shun family had up their sleeves, they couldn't stop Sheng Xiao from returning to his real home. But what was Sheng Xiao planning? On the day of the old man's birthday, he would naturally announce to the world that he would become the Shun family's live-in son-in-law, rent the biggest billboard in Jianchuan, and hang it up for a week. Would old Sheng still not give up then? Right now, he was merely keeping the old man in check so that he wouldn't hurt the Shun family again. Old Sheng was in a good mood when he returned to the Sheng family. Curious, sixth brother asked the butler, "What's making you so happy, Grandpa?" Eighth young master might return on your birthday. The butler appeared excited as well. Sixth brother, however, was not as happy. Was eighth brother really giving up on Muchichi? And what did he take the Shung family for? A food market? Going out as he pleased and coming back as he pleased. Hence, sixth brother vented his displeasure in front of second brother. Eighth brother is so lucky. Leaving aside the fact that you're giving up your position, second brother, the daughter of the Gu family, is already prepared for him. Second brother did not feel good about it at that. No matter how resolute Grandpa Shung was, he knew very well that Grandpa Shung only had Shung Xiao as a successor. No matter how hard he tried, it would all be in vain. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.